I'm here. Oh man. Welcome to the show you've all been waiting for. The show hosted by the hero you didn't even know you needed. But again, I'm here. Some of you may know me as YSN, the original elite. My favorite one though, Real Rap Redo. Welcome back, gentlemen. A lovely Thursday morning. I haven't even gotten to all this. Haven't even seen it all. No worries. We'll get to it all today. But per usual, I have one hell of a show ready for you today. And you've seen the title. Nike Talk Rebirth, right? Rebirth, returns, and favorite remarks. And there's plenty to go around. Trust me, we're going to get to all this, and they might not even be in order, and chances are probably won't be. And there's another word I forgot in that intro, but we'll get to that too, because when you talk returns, that kind of coincides with arrivals, right? And with arrivals, you have departures, departures from relevance. You can't really see my eyes. Let me change the tune for a second. So let's get into it, man. How y'all feeling, competitors? How you feeling this morning, gentlemen? Me, exceptional, per usual. Exceptional. You know, we'll say that. Welcome back to Nike Talk. It's been a while since we've done this. I haven't really seen you guys since the draft. And before that, I hadn't really seen you guys since I had a do-rag over my face. It's all in character, all in the good name of John Madden football as it pertains to the Nike Talk League. So we're going to touch on everything today, man. We're going to touch on the state of the league. Number one, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Shout out to the commissioners, man. Y'all are doing an incredible job of getting us back on track, keeping us on track, keeping us, within the rules of the game. You guys are highly appreciated by me. Also, to the players, I'm glad you didn't lose your fervor. I'm glad you didn't. And I'm here, your boy is here, to make sure that you don't go forward. I'm gonna give you perhaps things, nuggets even, that you can take and hold on to as you fight for the plus, as you fight for relevancy, as you fight for, dare I say, a world championship for some of you. For others, as you fight to remain relevant in our eyes, as you fight to overcome the narratives that you created for yourself, right? And we all have our own. We all have something to overcome. Some problems are just bigger than others. And it's as simple as that. But we're gonna have some fun along the way. Also, let me say this. Join, whoever wants to join, whenever you like, come on in. This ain't a me show, it's a we show. So let's go ahead and get right to it. We are on rather, the precipice of what? This is week 8, week 9, one of those. All I know is the trade deadline's here and we're about halfway through the season. So how you feeling? Everywhere from, this side, LA, to out here in Miami and everywhere in between. How are you feeling about the product that you put together? Has the restart affected you positively or negatively? Or in the case of some, doesn't even matter at all? I just want to know these things. And who better for me to get the answers from than you? I'm just going to ask questions. I'm going to keep it real like I always do. Give me 1 second. All right, Mr. Rome, the link is right above. There you go. Yeah, Mark. We selling pepper out here. It's cool though. Just adds to the aesthetic. I might go full silver at some point in time, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, um, back to you fine gentlemen. What's going on in the league? Like there's things that I've seen and there's things that I see that kind of just catch me by, I won't say surprise, but it just catches me and it's worthy of a conversation. So let's have a conversation. Let's start with this before I pull up my notes and go into the context of it all. As your context king, it's only right that I do such. But shout out to me for the picture. It feels so good to be back, man. Oh man, I promise you. Here's what we're going to start with. I have ideas, right? So I've been out of the picture in a sense for a little while now. You haven't seen a real podcast in some time. Things have happened on this side, and not bad things at all, great things even. But came back with ideas. Like, do y'all really want Nike Talk back? Do y'all really want Nike Talk back? The rebirth. If we're going to rebirth, let's do it right, right? So here's what I'm thinking, commissioners. Let me know if this works. Do y'all remember a time where there was true game of the week, right? Like a prime time game. Now, I'm not talking about what the game dictates as prime time games. I'm talking about what we dictate as prime time games. Do you remember that time? If you don't, as your resident OG, let me back you up a little bit to about 2014, 2015. There was a point in time where, myself, the Honorable Mixtape, shout out to him, among others, we do live commentary on some of these games. And I'm about ready to bring it back. I'm ready to bring it back. The reasons why we'll get into that as we go along, maybe not necessarily in this episode, but in episodes to come. But I'm ready to bring it back. And I figure we can go through the schedule each week, identify which games even are primetime worthy. And then from there, I just need a little bit of help, just a tad bit of help. From there, I could get in contact with the players like, hey, such and such, your game has been selected as the game of the week, right? Both players. This is all I need. Anybody that's want to commentate with me, which is fine, play-by-play / color commentary format. So, I have people in mind, but it's not necessarily, it's open to all, we'll put it like that. But I have that in mind. So play-by-play / color commentary format. Then on top of that, all we need is this. I don't know if y'all heard in the Eagles and Commanders game last night, but those announcers, they really botched something. Like, I think somebody got a turnover. No. Yeah. Twan got a turnover, I think. And there was a penalty on the Eagles, which was declined by Twan. And the announcer said something that was just completely off base, like, oh, you don't decline a penalty when you have a chance to get the ball back. I'm like, bro, he got the ball back. Like, what are you talking about? Allow me to step in. So all I ask is this. Keep your crowd volume up. We need an ambiance. We need to feel the stadium, right? And keep the announcer's volume on 0. And we'll take it from there. I can give you a pre-game show, can give you a post-game. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this whole Nike Talk sector, this whole football online Madden sector, I mean, it's our oyster, it's our world. So why not take advantage of it to the fullest? So there's a proposal. I haven't checked next week's games, but anybody that's on board, let's do it. I mean, we're here to have fun, right? We're here to have fun, talk our trash, and compete. And I know I'm doing all three. So, and I want everybody else to be able to do all three as well. Give me one more second. I'm gonna cut this music, and we get down to business. Actually, All right. So there it is. Actually, you know what? Well, let's just go ahead and let's get into it right now. All right, let's go ahead and just look at the next week's games. We have stuff from this week and the previous week to talk about. But right now, let's set the table, as I love to say. So here we are. Can somebody? I guess I can find it on my own. Let's see here. Uh, all those notifications, we can do away with those. Let's see. Schedule. Is there anything? Can somebody update data leagues also, please? As we hold on, here we go. Never mind. So I spoke too soon. Apologies. Okay. So we look at next week's schedule real quick. Advance is today. Wait, I think it's today. Hopefully. But anyway, let's look at it. Week 9. Let's pull it up right here. Still a little bit of that. I'll get you guys this view in just a second. And here we are. Okay. So share the screen. All right. So what do we see here? What do we see? Looking at this, Niners, Seahawks, Bears, Packers, Bengals, Titans. We got to talk about that morale thing too. Like, I just need to know. I'm not really in tune with it, so I just want to see. Like, I just need to know. Like, does that? How long does that stick around? Because that is like ending seasons out here, as far as I can see. But maybe there's just more details that I'm missing. Broncos, Chargers, Browns, Steelers, Cardinals, Rams. Here's a good one. Commanders, Cowboys. I think that might be a pretty good one to do. This is a little sleeper right here too. If those Jets came off a nice little win against Denver. Then you got Giants, Eagles, Patriots, Bills. That'd be fun just to see. I got questions over here. We'll get to that soon enough. And then you got Raiders, Chiefs, Ravens, Vikings, and Texans and Jaguars. But I'm thinking, y'all let me know. I mean, we can narrow this down to 3 per week, and then from there, kind of just see which games line up with the schedule, and we can go from there. But also, I should say, a lot of these games like to come up on my off days. So, which sometimes it might just be a case of whichever game is available will just be the one that we go live with, just depending on what days I'm off and what's being played around the league. But if I had my choice, I would love to see the Commanders and the Cowboys because quiet as kept. Those Commanders. Hold on, let me back up. Let me go to the Cowboys first. Y'all really can't beat Kenny. Like Kenny really out here just like doing y'all up on the regular too. It's like far be it for me to tell, but I look at Dallas and I'm just like, you know what's coming. You come on, man. Y'all know what's coming with Dallas. Let's be real. Can we just be honest for a second? I mean, the name of the show. Y'all can't get past square one. Stop the run. Now, granted, I know what X factors are probably easier said than done, but is it really that difficult? I mean, because for all intents and purposes, we know, like, you stop the run, you're going to probably have like a 70% chance of winning, and it'll only be diminished if you just throw a bunch of picks, which Dallas opponents seem to do for whatever reason. So I don't, I just don't understand. But hey, it's not necessarily my problem. He's in the NFC, I'm in the AFC. But Kenny's 7-1, and I believe right next to Mike, he's 7-0 here. He looks like either it's him, it's Philly, like right there with Tampa. I mean, those are the guys, and these Commanders on the other hand, they were right there, but now they were 5-1, right, or 5-0 or something, and that game to JT was just styles make fights. That's all I'm gonna say. Styles make fights. Kenny, stop the hate. Um, after the who going? Oh, Chris, hold on, Chris. I'm gonna get right back to that. I just gotta see. Stop the hate. Nah, it's no hate. I'm just saying, how don't they know how to stop it by now? That's it. Like I had no listen. I got no dog in these fights. I'm just asking the questions that need to be asked. Like I just need to see, like, because if I'm playing against you, Kenny, you know, I know what the objectives are. And, I don't I just feel like this. You're on a great run and I respect it. But it's just some things aren't easy, but they're simple. And beating Dallas, I think, is in that category. It might not necessarily be easy, but it's pretty simple when you get down to the root of it. But nah, 7-1 is legit, and I have nothing to say about that. Keep doing your thing. But going back to the Commanders, they had a nice little start, and then that JT game happened, and again, styles make fights. And I don't know what the apparent lack of I don't know what went on. All I know was that game got out of hand, and it brought some morale down, if I'm not mistaken. It brought it down quite a bit. And Washington and Tennessee both fall into that category. But let's look at this. Okay, so here we are, right? First team we're going to look at is the Commanders. The morale is seasonal and restarts in the beginning of the new preseason, but those scenarios only stay for a week, though. Okay, cool. Well, that's good, because if it's just temporary, and I didn't even know it was that temporary, but if it's just temporary, then good. Because when I played Bean, beat him. Then I think he played Dez the next week and lost, and his morale, everybody was at like a 12 or 20, and I was just like, they really just ended his season. I also wasn't complaining, but yeah. But anyway, so this happened. So let's go back. Ton, okay, good win here. He's supposed to be Tone. Good win here. Nick is whichever Nick you get is the Nick that you get, whether it be the good Nick that can blow out a talented Denver team, or this Nick that Twan beat 45-14. This was a sim, I believe, and that was a sim force for Commanders. This one right here, 41-40. So, Mark, Mark, I want to say Broncos, Mark. Patriots, Mark. What's going on, man? You ran from battle. Now, people will say, we'll ran you out of town. Can we get the official answer on why you left? Because I don't think we have that yet. I don't think we have that yet. And is it Russell Wilson? Like, what was it? The cap situation that you had coming on? Like, what was up? Because you ran from a division that more or less, excuse me, should have been yours, but it looked like Will just took your corner, and then you just, went over to a new block, and now 2-6, you giving up, you scoring 40 and losing. You got 21-0 leads and you're losing. Whenever you like to explain, I mean, please do. Let me get Jeremy this link, and here we go. Because they screwed me, and I did not want to go back to that team without my fun players. So basically, what you're telling me is you ain't want to work a little bit, Well, you working now or getting work. But hey, man, invite the voices. We want them to speak their point. Ed, come through. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm going to pin the invites. But y'all, the more the merrier. Anybody come through. But going back to Twan, he won that game 41-40. That was a really good game. And when we talk about game of the year types, and we'll get to that. Trust you me, we'll get to that. Um, this one is one of them, right? But then this happened, and they took his morale as he said, and we're looking at that. And then he played Chris. That was 41-7, and now the game with Jeremy was a close game, closely contested. But either way, it's a 3-game losing streak. This is like Will started off 5-0, and you know now he's on a 3-game losing streak. So like, what's going on? Like, let's look at the remainder of your schedule. Got Cal. Oh, okay, 1-2 right here. Should beat Tone. I mean, Rams by. Okay, so I mean, some interesting games. This Commanders Seahawks. Seahawks are quiet. I mean, on the low, 4-2. It's going to be a good finish. But you know, that's what's going on there. Let's just go around the league a little bit. Let's go to KC. Let's see what's going on. Because Will, I was looking like, well, undefeated. Now, granted, we didn't play week 1, so that is what it is. Fair sim, it is what it is. But look at that. Another one. This one right here is good. This right here, Jose, what's up, man? 2-6. Like, what's going on? And I mean, he been, but then Nick Will been, running through his share of opponents. But then, this one always right here is tricky because Chargers Mark is kind of like in the same boat as Nick. Like you might get him good one day, and then another game might get him 5, 6, 7 picks. But he seems to play well in his divisional opponents pretty well. So wins that. Man, can we talk about this though? Hold on. Hey, Buffalo looking like Buffalo's supposed to be looking, at least based off this 49-7. Man, he was looking good out there. In 4-4, he's right there in the mix. So maybe he'll put a run together. And then 37-30 to David. Welcome back, by the way. Officially. You were obviously the returns subject of this title. So there you are. Now we'll see. Nako's 3-4, Kenny. So Mays 5-2, another one that's like kind of quieter than usual, but he's right there. We're just looking to see, like, Will start off hot. He said where the comp at, and these last few weeks kind of got what you asked for. So we'll see. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one again. This one will be probably pretty good too. Like, yeah. I mean, there's not looking like any real gimmies the rest of the way. Like, we'll see. That AFC West is going to might be a little logjam before we know it. Even Jose at 2-6 is still in it. Let's see what y'all talking about. Mahomes had the flat tire. Oh, he trying to join the zone. That's what you're trying to do, Mr. Ron. Well, enough of me just talking. Let me come back here for a second and let me add this to the chat. Mahomes had a flat tire. We'll explain. What was that? Like, oh, he had a scenario, like he had a flat tire and he couldn't make the game? Oh, that's crazy if so. Like, see, Madden, this is my thing. Madden, the Raiders are a gimme. Yeah, that's probably as close to a gimme as you have in the schedule remaining. But they could try to be a little tricky, but I think you should win both of those though. I do think you should win both of those. So he's 3-4. His quarterback he has a rookie quarterback, but that guy isn't particularly accurate at this moment in time. So I've seen him kind of switch back to between him and Derek Carr. And while we're talking about Nako real quick, let's jump into the remarks for a second. There's plenty to go around because it's been a while, but I need y'all to understand. Any and everything I say in this regarding this game is never personal. It's never personal. It's just in the lines of Madden. Like, going to compete. We're going to talk. We're going to have fun. The second, and I said this before in the PSN, but the second, I won't even say the second the PS5 cuts off, the second Madden cuts off, or the second I'm not in the chat, it's all good. But in between the lines, look, listen, it gotta happen sometimes. And that's just what it is. And it shouldn't be a case where, granted, can we use better choices of words? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, that should not take away from the spirit of two-way street banter. So Nako, much respect. You already know this. We've been in PSN since all that. But we can definitely have, and this is not just for Nako, just for anybody. We can definitely have banter, and it'd be fine because it's all it is. It's just Madden. It's just Madden. And when we start playing this game free and enjoying, the camaraderie, the competition, all that, and being able to speak our own piece, which, trust you, me, I'ma always speak my piece, whether you like it or not. Then we're gonna have a successful league as we have for almost a decade now. All right, enough of me. We're gonna get some people up in here. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Mr. Rohn is on the way. Philadelphia Eagles coming soon, coming shortly, and we'll get to him when he makes it in here. But till then, let's go back here real quick. Oh, 2 people in the waiting room. Hold on now, yeah, okay. Who wants to join? Oh, Jeremy Rohn again. Come on in, Mr. Rohn. Let's see. All right. This is good. Hey, shout out to Bean, man. Hey, Bean one of my favorite opponents, man. Like, because let me tell you something about Bean. Let me tell you something about Ty, too. Let's talk about the AFC South real quick before Jeremy gets started. Let's talk about the AFC South, right? I mean,
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh, what up with you?
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Nah, go ahead.
No, you can. No, you was in the spiel, man. I'm just here, man.
Okay, cool.
I'm just here, man.
I'm just kind of touching around the league. There's no real rhyme, reason, or structure to it at the moment. I'm just kind of going off of what I've remembered in my head. But I'm going to touch on the AFC South real quick because we were the subject of jokes like a month ago, and rightfully so. I mean, I think the leader was like a 3-3 Evan, and I think he had played the Jaguars once, got another forced win here. Still, like, well, let's talk about that for a second. People look at me. I was 0-5, 0-5, right? And I'm mad that the restart happened, but at the same time, I'm not complaining. But let me tell you what would have happened if we had continued with the original league before EA messed it up. You must remember, right? 47. You must remember, I started out that season against like 4 or 5 playoff teams in a row. We talking New Orleans, right? Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, Cleveland, Baltimore, I believe it was. And then I got suspended for the Patriots game, the tie game, and Ty wasn't a playoff team, but we know Ty's
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one more. I think it was like the Chargers or somebody. Strong personnel. Strong personnel. So 0-5. And y'all saw 0-5, but again, context, right? The context of it was that was as hard as my schedule was going to get. Truth be told, I hadn't played at a single division game at that point. When I finally played one, I played Bean 20-10 in our favor. He was going through it, and short story of it all, y'all can believe it or not, that's up to you. I was going 11-6. If you look at the remaining schedule, I had Jacksonville twice. I had Evan twice. I had Bean again. That's 6 wins right there. Boom. We back to 500 and over 500 right then and there. But I started getting my wins together. I beat the Bengals. We're gonna talk about the Bengals currently also because we're gonna talk about them. A little bit of jury's still out. I know y'all be quick to crown these players, but y'all look at the record and you see the shine. But I'm like, what y'all look at y'all just see the exterior of the product. What materials is the product really made of?
So
That's the more
basically,
important question. Wrong
basically
speak.
you saying
Yeah,
he's
go ahead,
basically
speak on it real
saying
quick.
it's like that jewelry you get, then you go in the shower, and the next thing you know, your neck green. That's just
Yeah, like I mean, look, what we washing with it? Is it the Dove or I hate to put it out there, but or is it that Suave Essentials that that Dollar General? Like I'm not buying it, man. Like the math ain't math with some of y'all, and I'm just and listen, I'm not above criticism either. Like you can bring it my way. Any questions you have, I'll listen. I'll go through Reggie's whole. I haven't even seen Reggie's 70 messages since last night. I truly haven't. I woke up
dang.
to move my car at 7:11 a.m. and I was like, oh, but we're just talking the game, so let's talk about the game. We'll get to that soon enough. But I'm looking at like Cincy and some of the records, like even in the rebirth or before the rebirth, Jix was like what 4-0. And he was like, oh yeah, Jix 4-0. I'm like, come on, man. We
Yeah, I
go we
guess
gonna regress or progress to the mean eventually.
right,
Whether you start bad and finish well, or if you start high and finish where you probably, the level that you're more suited for, we're gonna finish that way either way, man. So
right.
um
Yeah, the biggest shock is the Bengals. I don't know what's going on up there in Cincinnati.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you
That's a
this though.
shock to me.
Them so I'm looking at Cincinnati. We go to them real quick. 6-1 now. Well, let's see now because I know I checked on his schedule. Pardon me. I checked on his schedule a little bit before, and y'all gonna see it for yourself. This is the context of it. Like we see 6-1 now. Granted, let's start from the bottom up though, because this win was real. This win over the Colts was real, and it showed me some things as a direct competitor to Indianapolis. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it like, oh, maybe them Colts ain't who we really thought they were. Truth be told, maybe,
I mean, when
maybe,
you dial in,
huh?
when you dial in on certain people, you watch them play.
Yeah, when you dialed
You
in, and I'm
understand?
just looking at it.
You understand why some things, that there just don't need to be explained. I mean,
Right?
you're like, okay, I see why he took an L because he's
Yeah,
doing a certain thing. Because I ain't gonna say a certain some of me and him had a conversation about the Colts, and we knew what he was doing. It was like, okay, yeah, that's why he made that move. Okay, so
right.
there's counters to everything that
Counters to
he's doing,
everything.
that his purple is doing. And just like Kenny, Kenny's 7-1. Where's that one loss from? It's from Philly. What do we do to that boy? I'm just saying, like, but ain't no knock to him though. Ain't no knock to him
Yeah,
though. I ain't
no.
hating on nobody game.
Me
I ain't
either.
hating
Like,
on nobody game.
hey, R1, all I want to do is just talk the game and talk about it in an authentic fashion. That's it. That's it. That's all. Like, it's as simple and plain as that. But them
Mhm.
Bengals though, he had a good win over them Colts. And it made me wonder, I'm like, okay, the Colts, they 4-4. And I'm looking at it, you got Buckner on the first level, you got Leonard on the second level, you got Gilmore, Ramsey, Kenny Moore, then Blackman's fast, then Nick Cross is fast. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint of like kick Jeremy off the edge.
Hey, yeah, Bean, you better leave me alone, man. You
Being
already
my
know,
guy,
Bean.
man. I love playing
Bean the homie, but Bean already know how I get with Bean. Bean already know. That's why he over there. That's why he over there trying to shop a 70 overall quarterback for a first round, and everybody looking at this man like he done lost his daggone mind.
Yeah,
Man,
we
you
got
already
to talk about that too. When we get to Tennessee, we can go to Tennessee next. We
man,
talk
he's
about them.
crazy. Best
Um,
running back in the game. This nigga ain't leading in rushing. Get out of here. Stop talking to me, man. I
yeah,
told you, Bean, don't talk to me until you score a touchdown. I told you that.
Bean and Ty have just kept me awake at night simply because of the trades that they are willing to like go through. I'm like, bro, you ain't ran out of trades yet. Can we please bring back the 3 trade maximum per season? Just put it in Tennessee. 80% of the trades come out of Tennessee. 100% guaranteed. 80% of the trades. I'm like, bro, just stop. You got enough, dude. Just stop it. Just don't. But Willis for that first rounder though. Now leave Tennessee where they at. Willis, I mean, listen, man. Being from me to you, keep Willis. Get Henry up out of there. Bye. Because if truth be told, our last game, that the game that would never end, the game of endless tomorrows, if Henry is just gone, we get out of there 20 real life minutes earlier. That game would have been like an hour and a half. I'm like, bro, like, yo, can Tennessee just chill? Like, can you just chill with your guys, please? Great game, though. But Cincinnati, though, let's go back to them real quick. So he lost the one game to Flash, and Flash, I just don't know what's up, man. I just don't I just don't understand it. But Flash, he beat Cincinnati. But let's look at the rest of this. Okay, beat Dez, or maybe it was a force. Either way, got the victory over the Jaguars. Lions didn't have a player at the time, or no, I think they did. He just wasn't good. So beat him. This game, this Bengals Seahawks game was good, and that was like, I thought. And then getting so back and forth. I'm like, who wanted it? Like, I can't even say who wanted it more. I was just asking who wanted it, period. He beat C's in that game. And I was like, okay, like he off to a nice little start. But then he played Edgar and Ed, my guy. But we gotta get together in San Fran, sir. Like, but in your defense, though, you're only one win behind Mark. So take that for what it is. You can catch him easy too, because. But this win right here has pretty much been like, unfortunately, in the early part of the season, Ed has just been like the doormat for a lot of these teams, like Cincinnati, the Cowboys game, so forth and so on. But he had a good win yesterday too against Jacksonville. Those, if you didn't see the San Francisco versus Jacksonville game, the one that got shut off the night before, but then the one yesterday when they played,
What's that?
Those are two great games. Those are two really good, entertaining games, and go check them out. Pretty good stuff. And then I'm forgetting that Mays is Chicago now. So when this happened, I was like, he beat Mays? And I'm like, oh no, Mays is Chicago, and Arizona is JT now. So he won here, but the long and short of it is, I'm looking at this is a good win. This win aged really well. But I'm looking at the rest, I'm just like, and this win was a good win. So it kind of took me off a little bit of the stance I was just about to mention, which was I wasn't really sold. And truth be told, I'm still, the jury's still out in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see what Cincy has left. Let's see what Daryl has left. Speaking of being in the Titans, boom, there it is right there. And you got Kerm right here. He got a nice little quarterback out of Pittsburgh, man. Like, he got a nice little quarterback out there. Then you got Reggie, you got myself, Nick, Reggie again, Flash again, Chargers Steelers. So I mean, what's Daryl right now? 6-1? 6-1. The way I see it, not kind of my game, because that's a biased perspective, but counting the rest of them, I think it's tricky, man, because at 6-1, I just don't know. Back to this trainer, I'm out. All right, yeah. So I just don't know about Cincy, man. Like, because he's 6-1, but it's the style of the 6-1. Just as easy as these touchdowns to Jamar Chase and all the other players that he has can be touchdowns, they can be picks. And I've seen Bean have a game with a multitude of interceptions. Kerm, I don't know, man. Like, I know Donald's there, but I think I need to see more, man. I need to see more. I'm gonna say I think Tennessee gets Cincinnati. I hope not. Oh, but Burrow suspended. Give me Tennessee. Week 9. Give me Tennessee. Lucky. Oh man. But anyway, I think he'd come out, Daryl probably come out with a Rams game could be tricky, but I think he can get it. I don't know if he will, but I'll give it to him. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He'll split with B. I think he'll split these games with the Steelers. So what's that? At least according to me, 8. Don't see him winning this game. I'll keep myself out of it. Nick, I think Nick is Nick is Nick and Daryl almost one and the same. Nick is just more inconsistent, at least this season. That's a toss up. I don't know about that. I really don't. And then I think Reggie will get both games there. Flash. He should end up with somewhere around. I mean, if you're 6-1, there's no reason why you should be anything less than 10-7. Like, it's a tricky slate though because the Ravens aren't too Flash isn't 2-5 bad. It's just I don't know what's going on there. Chargers are getting tricky, Steelers are tricky, Jets are tricky, Rams are tricky, Titans are tricky. Everything's tricky. So you could get probably as high as 11, maybe 12 if things go right. And then I could also see like 9-8, 8-9 maybe. Like it just depends. But we'll see. We'll really see. I want to see how he adjusts without Joe Burrow though, because again, we always come back to this, man. It's like the personnel, it matters. If somebody, multitude of y'all that say Jimmys and Joes be X's and O's, right? And the Bengals got some of the best Jimmys and Joes out there. So we'll see how it is when he doesn't have an X-factor quarterback for a game. I don't know who's waiting in the wings. Maybe he goes and picks somebody up. Maybe who knows what happens. But either which way, that's a compelling schedule. That's something to look out for as we go along. All right. Who's next? Y'all start. Let's see. Mac Derek Carr. Derek Carr on the block. Oh, there it is. Y'all heard Nico. Derek Carr on the block. I guess he sees enough in his rookie to hand him the keys. We shall see. But let's go to Tennessee, man. Let's before we even talk about the player or being in his season so far, let's just get to it. Where is he? Here he is. Here he is. Malik Willis. Come on. Now, let's tap in right now. Let's get a little closer on this. And let's go down. Boom. Malik Willis. Okay. So here are the attributes. Here are the basic attributes. Now, okay. Now let's talk about it, right? Fair is fair. What I'm gonna ask y'all, because Bean says he wants a respectable offer, which as he should. What should the asking price for Malik Willis be? Bean says minimum first rounder, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bean. Bean says first rounder at the minimum. Daddy leagues, which, per Chris the other day, is not the be all end all, but is a great starting point. Says mid third. So do we fall in the middle and it be? What y'all think? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna get into. But let's just see though, because I mean he could be an asset for somebody for sure. Like I put it to you like this: if in an alternate universe, maybe our first one of this Madden, early fourth. Oh man. In an alternate universe, i.e. this first one that we had in Madden 23, Mays makes his trade. I don't know what he gives up, but Mays, among others, I think Mays would be the one to get him, because no doubt about it, given all this, given the accuracy deficiencies, given the fact that he's only a normal, given the fact that he's second year, and 24. So you kind of reaching that point where it's like he's almost kind of like is what he is to an extent. But who could I look around the league and I'm like, who could really like make the deficiencies work in their favor? Multiple people come up. Multiple people come up. Chris comes up. Mays comes up. No doubt in my mind, Mays makes that trade if he's like if he didn't have Fields or in Arizona, Kyler Murray or somebody. If he were in a position where he needed a quarterback, oh, he's instant. This trade's probably already done, and he's probably paying whatever he needs to pay to get him. But well, let's look at it. So, okay, so you see the attributes, and let's look at the numbers. Right, my favorite. I love the numbers, and I love the context within. So let's look at it. And of course, I'm going to give you the interception report. I don't know who's under whose name it is at this moment, but fair enough. We'll get back to that too. Let's look at Willis. All right. So let's bring up all the game logs, not just the last four. I want to see them all. I want to see them all. All right. So here we go. Y'all tuned in? All right, here we go. Let's get it front and center. Boom, there we go. All right. So here it is. Now, Bean, run run through this with me. Okay, hold on. Chris says we can Malik is 5 bricks. Chris says I give him a second if it was the beginning of the season, worth a third now. And given the morale and all that, fair. I mean, I can't knock it. Like because it's like you said, Chris, like it's not just the player now, but it's the baggage of the season that comes along with that. So that's fair. And that takes, value off the dollars like a chick with high mileage. Like you're not paying what you would have paid maybe back then for what it is right now. But let's look at this. Okay, so Willis, I think he played this game. That was okay. So, all right, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Then we had 2 and 4. Then we had 2 and 2. Then we had 3 and 4. Then we got 2 and 4. Then we had 0 and 3. Hold on. 2 for 10, 20%, 20 yards, 2 yards per attempt average. Longest 13. So after that, you were 1 for 9 for 7 yards. Dang. Fantasy owners of Malik Willis were not happy on this day. And then you had the Denver game where he didn't even start because he made that trade for Twan's other guy. So there it is. And hey man, yeah, it is what it is, right? So being is on the clock. Y'all remember in wrestling the old hardcore championship, 24/7, 365. A man can lose it or gain it at any moment of the day. That's being in the trade talks, man. Like that phone is the second completion came in the fourth. Yeah, I remember it came in the fourth quarter. That was crazy. And then look at Mark. Look at Mark stirring it up. Mark ain't nothing to stir up. Ain't nothing to stir up. I already laid it out there. We plan on seeing those guys again. And it's simple and plain. Like, he don't need to hear from you. He gonna hear from me. I don't need no spokesperson. But anyway, yeah, man, like Malik Willis, ladies and gentlemen. But let's look at what Tennessee has going on now. So because clearly he's not the starter anymore. So now Bean has gone to another youngster at quarterback, right? A guy who comes in with perhaps more of a throwing ability. Bean, what you change this guy's name to? His last name was Haas last time hold on. His last name was Haas last time I checked. And now what's his name now? Also, y'all wild for changing these quarterbacks, the hand that they throw with and all that. Mac Jones left-handed for what? Like for what and for why? What reason? Let me find this quarterback though. I'm just going too fast. Do it like this. Make it a little easier on ourselves. Yeah, Mark, why you want drama, man? Ain't no drama, it's just football, it's just Madden. But hey, we here now, so I guess whatever's said is gonna stick. So it is what it is. So now we have Maverick Hawkins, the artist formerly known as Haas, 2 A's. And I might have been okay. So you got the short. I mean, Bean, talk me through it, man. Talk me through it. Malik watching this on his phone right now. Maverick Hawkins. Please don't stop till phone don't stop till week 8 passes. No, respect. Absolutely. I get it. And the second the offseason hit, I know it's gonna be right back on. Like that's just how it is. And that's cool. But I'm looking at it. Okay, Kid got a nice arm to him. What'd you trade for this guy? It was a second rounder. Um, let's see, 81 short, 77 medium, 76 deep. But he's 22, he's a rookie, so and he's still normal. So I guess you got a little more time, if anything. Um, Awareness big, yeah, true indeed. Awareness is big difference. And yeah, maybe. I could. Certainly, I think, yeah, that's the big difference because Malik's was like what 57, so that's almost like a project. He's really Taysom Hill. Oh, what it is, he's really Taysom Hill. Malik Willis is Taysom Hill. He traded a quarterback. Um, okay, he traded a corner. So right, because he traded. Right, because Twan wanted one in the corner per usual, and then Twan flipped the corner to another corner to Jacksonville for like some like fourth round pick or something, and watch that fourth rounder somehow become like a random star, hidden gem type of deal. So okay, um, Maverick Hawkins. Maverick Hawkins. Has he played a game for you yet, Bean, or is what? Okay, 20 for 35, 251. Okay, so so the awareness is, yeah, Roger McCreary. Cool. Um, okay, so 251, 3 picks, but accuracy deficiencies probably bound to happen. So okay, we'll stay tuned to Tennessee. And trying to think. All right, you know what? This part was fun. This part was cool. Let's just get that. Let's just get to why we're talking about it. Let's just get to what we came here for. Part of what we came here for. The remarks. I got to go back. The remarks. We talked about a little bit of the returns. We talked about the rebirth. We let's talk about last night, this morning. Let's talk about it. I'm here for it. Tune in. As a disclaimer, the words coming from myself do not reflect the views of anyone in this Nike Talk League outside of myself. You might have different perspectives. That is cool. You might not. That's cool. You might not agree with me. That's cool. You might think I'm flat out wrong. That's cool too. But show the morale. Let's see what is the morale even on here? I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. I think I have to like log on the game because let me just go back to your roster real quick, and then we'll get into the talk of the town. We'll get into all that good stuff. We'll go through the 80 messages that I had waiting on me this morning, and we'll just see what it is, and we'll try to make some sense of what's going on here. Yeah, I don't see the morale, but I did see. I remember your people being like 20 in around the 20 range. So keep me posted. Let me know if that returns to the norm or close to it. Hopefully no time before week 11. But hopefully it does at some point because it's not on here, but you know, Madden be doing too much of those scenarios anyway. So I'll touch on some teams. Y'all can drop teams in the comments. You can come in on the chat and join if you want. Anybody is welcome. I do mean anybody. Come on, like drop some topics in the comments. I'll talk on it. I'll touch on it, and I'll just give you my take on it, and honest takes over here. So let's go to the schedule this week. Advance is today. It's 15. That's crazy, man. Let's look at what's been going on. So today, what do we have in the menu? Correct me if I'm wrong. I might have just missed one of these last two games, but I think these are the last two on the schedule. Hopefully we see one or both of those. If so, I'm not opposed to giving out some commentary tonight. I'm off, so this is what we're doing an off day. But we had Nako beating up on Jixie, and again, like I say, man, he was 4-0 at one point in the previous, but but is the record is the record, but is the gameplay, is the product sustainable? Is it sustainable? And for Jix, he throws too many interceptions. He can we nerf the kicking? See, speak on it. What you mean? Jix, no, he just throws too many picks, man. So it's like he was 4-0, and he had a strong start, but it was tenuous. It was tenuous. David came right back. This game, I turned it off when it was like Dave was up by like some scores, like multiple touchdowns. And I turned it off, and Will looked like he made it a game. As he should do with Kansas City, like he should never get blown out. But ultimately Dave got his first win of the season. And yeah, all his picks in the block. So if y'all looking for somebody, if y'all looking for some draft capital, that might be the guy to holler at. This game right here, I just need to run through it. Nick, if y'all saw did y'all see the play of the week or one of them with the pump fake one way? Then he look at that, man. 14 for 16, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Like, I mean, now let's also talk about this while we're here. Jose says that Nick was chewing the clock. Basically, y'all know, like once upon a time, I was, labeled as that guy who, was like the clock master and all that. Like, per the chat, right? Per the narratives, running the clock down. Like no, like for me, it's just surveying the field. Like we gotta make the best decision every single time, one play at a time, right? But Jose says Nick was doing it from the get-go, and it was wild, but still you gotta stop it. And when you get off your square, when you get off your sector, this happens. So I'm looking at Jose, and I'm like, 2-6, like one more deviation before we really get into it. I just I'm not understanding. Like, is it the divisional opponents? Is it what's going on? You got the defense for it. Okay, so we got right. He played Mays, and that was a good game. Phil, okay. Nako, did you and Jose play? I didn't catch the game, but if so, that's a beat down. I remember the game versus Will. I remember this 56-51. And it's like we got PS2, we have Justin Simmons, we have Bradley Chubb, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think he was traded on. I think he's still in Denver as opposed to real life. Like 6 picks. I mean, 6 here, 5 here. Like this is arena football. This is Big 12 football right here. I mean, goodness, defense. I mean, interceptions were the only semblance of defense. So it's just like I don't know what's going on in Denver. Similar to I don't know what's going on in New England. Like, what's up? Then had this game where that was another Big 12 type game, and then you had to win here, and then the loss here. So 2-6, he's not out of the division because Will's just only 3 games up, and he plays him one more time, week 18. He can win. He can win that game. He can beat Mark. I don't think he'll beat Reggie. He can beat the other Mark. This game versus Manning going to be good. Manning playing like how last I saw him against Kansas City. That's going to be tough. Then he plays Nako again. Plays Jix. Should win that. I don't know about I don't think he's beating Philly. We'll see. I mean, he's not necessarily 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. Okay, cool. Hey, y'all play 38-10. Hey, respect to Las Vegas. But yeah, so we got Tennessee, New Orleans. Tennessee, Seattle, New Orleans at 6 p.m. Central Time, not on the East. So we'll do what we can to make sure that we're there for that. But I'm trying to understand what's going on with 87 overall Denver. Like, Let me see what Russell doing. I know Javante having a pretty good. He had some good games, but what's Russell doing? The quarterback that Mark abandoned for, I don't know if it was fear. I don't know what it was. Just to, I had no idea. No, okay, not about the attributes. Let's go right to the logs. Let's look at it. Okay, so 2-3, 2-3, 0-6. I ain't know, Nathan. You just put it on like that? 0 touchdowns, 6 picks. Yeesh, scared of you. 1-3, 3-6, 3-3, 1-1, 3-1. And the only time he's had more touchdowns and picks, he got blasted on defense. So it's like, what are we doing, man? What's going on? Let's start the idea. Yeah, Ed. Like, come through. We'll commentate Tennessee. I keep calling C's Tennessee. I'm just so used to it. We'll commentate Seattle, New Orleans. That's a good game. That's a great game, actually. So I'll get it set up and we'll do a little pilot test tonight. But Russell Wilson, man, like, what's going on? I gotta just see it for the actual the cumulative numbers. I mean, really, 26. We are halfway through the season. Now I gotta do it. All right, Russell Wilson report. Here it is. Let's just go ahead and get it over with, and then I promise we're gonna get to what we about to get to. Let's just see it. Player, we gotta go. We gotta look at it. Daddy Leaks updated too. Why not? All right, the Russell Wilson report until or unless I see otherwise. Here we go. I want to see the ratios. Like what are you really doing out here, competitor? What are you really doing out here? Let's see. Okay, no. We just gonna go rack them up. Let's go. Come on. Okay. What is, dude? Speed. What's going on, man? 35. Wow, 35, but miraculously only sacked 4 times. And maybe that's the difference. Maybe these interceptions are coming from players that would have been sacked otherwise. I don't know. 7-34. And I promise you I'm gonna add to that total next advance for Trevor Lawrence. 22-28 for Corral, 11-27. 26, 25 or 26 to 15 for Russell. No, this is the Trevor Lawrence report. 7-34 is wild. That's wild. I mean, Ed, you got 16-25 with Trey. Jigs 13-24. Goff, that's not David's fault. So we exclude Goff from a lot of this. Burrow 22 picks, 17 touchdowns. Okay. Josh, that's not bad for manage ratio is kind of close to 1-1, so that's not too bad for him. Wilson, yeah, like figured out was doing something wrong. Hey, and that's what I try to tell him. The game, hey, absolutely, the game is all about adjustments, and that's a thing that I'm gonna touch on in a second regarding myself, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Full stop, like context, everything. We're gonna get right into it. And as far as what I said, wait, we'll get into all the me versus Reggie in a second. Kerm 15-20. You know the worst thing about this is though? I'm looking at all these. Hey, shout out to B. Hold on. Hey, that's progress, sir. Love to see it. 23-18. You're up 5. That's 18's a lot of picks still, but I respect it. And you're playing better football too, so hats off. Lamar, but I mean, all these are so lopsided. Jordan Love, okay, Phil, doing a little something. Baker, Twan's guy, Patrick Bush, Nako's apparent QB1, Frank Jackson, Mac Jones, 17-13. Okay, so it's not Mac, it's just Mark. That's the problem. Noted. Herbert, 11-13. Fields 17-12 with the lack of awareness. That's pretty good. Mahomes 16-11. Okay, we live with it. Jameis 12-11. Okay, I know Chris looking for a passer. And Jalen Hurts 14-9. Then we got Luke Paul, Mikey, but Mikey's running the ball with Fournette and winning with defense, so that is what it is. Got myself here 7-3. Did it update properly? I guess it did. We got Kyler 9-3, JT. Okay. And then Watson 13-2. Apparently Reggie's first user pick of the season came yesterday. So hey, it is what it is. Okay. But this, yeah, it's crazy. Like, but I mean, 734 that is crazy. But the thing with this is though, like, if the interception, I mean, because now it's like interceptions in a way, the weight of them is not properly like that's Madden's fault though. They don't put an onus on interceptions the way that they should. Like you can win an MVP with a guy that throws 45 picks, and it's just like game logic don't make any sense to me. But hey, what do I know? All right. Sorry for the delay. I had to do that real quick. Let's talk about this right here. Now, how y'all want this? Right? How y'all want this? I'll bring this back in a second. How y'all want it? Because either way, I'm built for it. So let's get into it. Because one thing I can't do, if I say I'm going to, bring the culture back and so forth and so on, one thing I can't do is be a mute in the resident face of fear. And trust you me, that fear that exists league-wide, it don't live here. Promise you that. But still in all, there's context to it, right? There's complexities, right? I respect all players, right? You have to. Any given advance, you can get got. And anybody can get got. Anybody. I'm not excluding anybody from that. So I understand that. We've seen upsets. We've seen we know what the situations are for certain teams. We know that it's going to be some players have come into the game with the higher picks are going to have the better teams. We understand that. So for the teams that aren't on that side and for the players that had the lower picks, chances are there's going to be a little bit of work to do. Now, could you be like, in Mikey's case, Tampa Bay fell to him. So it's like you get a couple of those every so often. Like Denver fell to Mark, the Rams fell to Kerm. Carolina, who is pretty good personnel wise, although they're not like a top tier team. I don't think anybody would say that, but the personnel wise, Jesus is in a good spot to take them. Kenny, Dallas, so forth, so on. All right, but let's talk about last night. Now, how would y'all like me to start? I can tell you about the game, which I kind of did in the press conference. I can go further back and explain the things that Reggie brought up in the chat and that I woke up to this morning. It was a great way to wake up, by the way. But let's just start with the bare bones of it. For as long as I can remember, there have been 3 players who I would say have definitively had my number throughout the course of Madden. No particular order. David, Mays, and Reginald, Mr. Youngblood himself, El Jefe YB, if you will. These 3 guys have been the people who I have been chasing in one respect or another throughout my time. With David, we know how that was. Came into the game, right? Officially, like his first full cycle was Madden 17 in the year 2016. And instantly, he took or became dare I say, replaced me, who was coming off of Madden 16 as a top-rated player, per the vote of you gentlemen. He came in, he and Mays came in and topped. They put themselves at the top of that list, right? And I had a bad year by my standards in Oakland at the time. And there were a lot of questions, right, as it pertains to how is he out of Carolina? How is myself being? How is he out of Carolina? Like, have we found flaws in his game? Is he who he really says he is? Is he who we thought he was or is? And I understand it. So from 2016 on, David and Mays have been at the forefront of this league one way or another. The third player also, I had my first encounter with him in the calendar year 2016. We were still playing Madden 16 when it happened. But way back when, as Carolina, man 16 still, I had this home winning streak. Nobody came into Charlotte and won for a calendar year. But then Reginald showed up. El Jefe YB. New York Jets, right? I wore the all white per usual. He came out in the green. And he won that game. I believe it was 38-34. Good game. Good game. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I live for. I live for the good games, the battles, right? Win or lose. He'll tell you that moral victories are from minor league coaches. I'm going to tell you that my greatest lessons have come through losses. So it's nothing for me to come onto a press conference 7 years later, still with the same three people being the same three people who I had my eyes set on, because David has cost me NFC crowns. Mays has cost me 2 world championships, both by 2 points. And Reginald, I have never truly beaten in a way that makes me satisfied. Fair enough. And here's the thing. He ended my year-long home winning streak years ago. Then our paths haven't crossed much. But then there was a time where he was New Orleans and I was Carolina, right? Fair enough. I believe that was Madden 19? So it was a calendar year 2018. Reginald goes and wins a championship, a world championship at that. His second. Now, when you watch this back, and I know you will, when you watch this back, let me make sure correct me if I'm wrong. Let me make sure I get your numbers right, get all your stuff right. I know you're going for accuracy, just like I am. Cool. You go win a world championship. My cycle lasts all of what? 2 seasons? And in between 2016 and 2023, where we are now, I've had my share of battles, whether it be Wi-Fi, whether it be the Atlanta Falcons of David Gamble, whether it be whatever, rules that are placed, whatever, right? Most of the battles, the biggest battles, however, come with self. And I'm going to tell you the consistency in all 3 of these people. David, Mays, and Reggie have all at some point or another had me wondering, can I beat these guys? Right? Because we're past the point, I'm past the point of getting the win-loss ledger with each of those 3 in my favor. That's fine. Because when it all changed for me was the Madden 18 Season 5 NFC Championship game. Carolina, myself, David, Atlanta. This is a guy who came to the division, had, I think, the top pick. I was number 9. He was number 1. He took Atlanta, right? And then we had a live draft. And I'm looking at it. He takes ATL number 1. And I ain't running from nobody. So I said, cool. Got my work cut out for me. I know he's the best player in the game, probably, or one of the top 2 currently at that time. but I ain't running. I take Carolina still. And truth be told, from me to you, no bones about it, I took a lot of ass whippings in between season 1 and season 5. Keep it real. But y'all saw them as just, oh, Redo lost it. Oh, he can't beat David. There was one comment, ironically made by Reggie way back, I remember. It was a mental block, a psychological obstacle with me. That question, could I beat this guy? And it all culminated. Now I beat him in season 1, the last week of the season, but he wasn't playing his starters, right? He had a bye week. So I won that game to get into the tournament as a wild card. I beat Mixtape, got that out the way, got my win back from when he beat me in the regular season. Got that out the way. I go to Atlanta. We back and forth, tit for tat, 24-24, and one mistake, boom, game over, right? He turns 24-24. I think I was actually up 24-21, but in the third quarter, deep in the third. But one mistake. That's what great players do. Props to him, congratulations and respect. Nothing but. He wins that game, ends up being like 45-24. And the constant thing was with him at that time, I knew there would be something, or at least in my mind, there would be something that would shift the game from one like middle to one side, and it was usually his side. But I saw it in season 2, I saw it in season 3, and I saw it in season 4. But we're gathering information slowly but surely, right? And there's a confidence, there's a quiet confidence that you can't see in the box score, you can't see on the schedule, you can't see on the Daddy Leagues report. There is a confidence that comes with each battle. It's like, okay, I'm a little closer. I can beat this guy. Then it's like, oh yeah, I'm really him. Actually, no, I ain't him. I'm me. I can beat this guy. NFC Championship, season 5. We go to overtime. Matter of fact, I just watched it back a few weeks ago. We go to overtime. What a game it was, right? So many times that game could have been over. So many times I look at it and he gets a play that, a great play, but a play that I at the time will look at as luck. And I'll look at it and like, here we go again, right? It could be that, it was not. Because it was my day that day. I hit the game winning pass that day. I went on to the Super Bowl that day. And though I lost that world championship to James Mays, one of the 2 or one of the 3 players that I just mentioned to you minutes ago, it was all valid in my book. I was back. So, how does that coincide with the here and now with Mr. Youngblood himself? Well, for Madden 23, and really for a considerable time before that, I'm not even talking just the game. I'm talking just in the sector of GroupMe. I'm talking in the sector of Nike Talk, in the game, out the game, the banter, right? The X's and O's, the schematics. This has been Reginald's world, and we just have lived in it. Those who have been fortunate enough to even do so. He's eradicated many players off of the face of this little earth by which he regulates, right? Cool. One step further, I have been one of those players. Like I said, the one time I beat Reggie was also Madden 18. But I don't even want that win. I don't even want it. You know why? Because he had internet problems. And coming from somebody who knows a little bit about internet problems, I've given a lot of you wins because of that. I don't want it if it's the other way around. Y'all will take it. Some of y'all will take it and talk about it and hold it in such high regard. Not I. Nah. So the way I see it, I've never beaten Reggie. The way I see it, I've never beaten Mays. And the one time I beat Mays was in Fish Market when it was the Dolphins and the Ravens. And yeah, I had a sorry Miami team. It was the first game with that team, season 1, week 1. Yeah, I did it 14-12. It didn't matter, and it still doesn't matter because it wasn't here. It was not in Nike Talk, where I've been the longest and hottest thing running for quite some time. So here you are, and here I am. Houston versus Cleveland, right? Now, Let me go back to what I said a couple of days ago. There was a question that came up. What is the game of the week for week number 8, right? I told you my response was Commanders and Eagles. And it was a good game, right? Because, and here's the reason why I said that. Twan had defeated Jeremy season 1. Twan had looked as good as this season until his recent slide. Twan had looked as good as he has in years, dare I say. At least what, 3-4 years? Calendar years, right? Like cycles, right? This is as good as we've seen Twan in a minute. And he's already beaten Jeremy. And can't nobody else seem to do it currently, besides maybe Mikey, but I don't know if Mikey's on his schedule right now. So to this point, that was the game of the week because we've seen past precedent and they're both good. They're both playing high. The NFC East is, you look at it from 1 to 3, there might not be a better 3-team set in all of the league right now. Whereas the only other obvious choice, if we just looked at the surface, was 5-2 Houston, 6-0 Cleveland. I just gave you the reasons as to why that was not the game of the week. Like I said, I've never beaten Reginald. Still haven't to this day, to this moment, right? But beyond that, let me tell you why else I said it. And this is more important than all the past stuff. You would have to understand what was going on in Houston to understand why I did not label that as a game of the week. What have we earned? You can look at the 9-8 from season 1 with a barren roster. You can look at the 0-5 even to start to, the original season 2 before we got back to, I think it was like 500 or something like that. Either way it goes, I played Reginald 2 times. Once was 45-17 or something like that, and the other was like 45-14. In my eyes, if I'm on the other end of that, I'm going to say that player don't belong on the field. That team don't belong on the same field as my team. So how hypocritical would it be if I didn't say that the other way around? The way I saw it, I hadn't proven to be in the game of the week against Cleveland. Undefeated AFC champion, right? Reigning AFC champion. Let me get it right. Let me not take away any credit. He's a tremendous player, but I'm scared of nobody here. But to that point, I had not proven to do what I said I was going to do at the start of this cycle, which was build a contender, go through the best to get to the world championship, and then win it. That is a 3-step process. Building the contender, we here now. We here now. And I see it so clear now. I see it so clear. And granted, I said at the top of this, like many of you probably thought, I came on and said it. We knew what time it was in the AFC. Who really, realistically, when you put pride aside, who really would say that Reginald was not the favorite in the AFC coming into the cycle? Go on, I'll wait. I need some coffee anyway. Exactly. Not many, if any of you would have said it. So for full transparency, I said it till I knew it. And I knew that this day would come to where if we going to make this jump, that's who we got to go through. Fine. And the thing with it is, though he's destroyed my Houston Texans twice over. These guys ain't those guys, number one. Secondly, well, and I'll touch on, I saw one thing he mentioned this morning, and he said, Redo hasn't played man like that all season. I wonder why. Youngblood. It's pretty simple. Adjustments. See, the day that I ever fall into a complacency of just going through the motions and picking plays or just picking what's hot now, because now all I see is Overstorm Brave this and mid blitz zero that. Like Overstorm Brave is a new mid blitz zero. Can we, yes or no, verify that? Truth be told, right or wrong, is it not? And the only player, though he's 2-6, I'll give him credit because that's just what I do. The only player I respect at this point who runs over Storm Brave is Mark because he's always run over Storm Brave. Before it was hot, while it was hot, and after it's hot, I guarantee you he's still going to run it. And I've played Mark from day one. So everybody else just follows the way I see it. Everybody else who runs it at least. Me, you ain't ever got to worry about me picking that play. I promise you that play will be I don't even know if it's in my playbook, but if it is, that play will be a 0 plays for 0 yards type of play. I will never run over Storm Brave. I don't need to be like y'all to beat y'all. I guarantee you that. Now, following. I just told you, Reginald had this whole Madden world in his hands, right? And it's to the point that, we've seen it. A lot of guys, and there's a handful who will bring it to him, and I'm in that mix of people. But typically, it's just an overabundance of respect, like a surplus of respect that he kind of like just, I don't even say demands or gets, like he earns it. He earns his respect, but some players just do it overly so, to the point, like I was explaining in the presser yesterday, to the point where you can be in a game, you can see Cleveland on the schedule, and before you even hit the field with them, mentally you're down 21, 14-0, 14-21-0. Easy, right? Because Reg is a guy who he gonna talk his talk. And heaven forbid if you talk with him. Heaven forbid if you talk with him. Because then that's gonna get him riled up. But guess what? That's the essence of the league. And me being part of the essence of the league, I'm all for it, young blood. Let's go. Let's go. You ain't gonna find I'll give you your due respect. You're a tremendous player. Just because we in the here and now of it now ain't going to change a thing. I said, I still think you're the best player in this league. I'm just letting you know I'm coming back for my spot. Do what you will with it. You did yesterday. I give you credit. But here's the thing. What was ain't what is. Those Texans, I got destroyed playing my usual style. So guess what? What do I always do? Adapt. How have I been where I've been at for so long? I've adapted. When they say he couldn't play with Cam or Luke, I've adapted. Now what? Riddle me. Because ain't no X factors over here. And this ain't to you, Reggie. Now it's just to the league at large. Ain't no X factors over here. I got pieces though. I guarantee you I got some guys now. So let's see now. Look, let 81 overall on offense fool you. Let 80 overall on defense fool you. Let 80 overall as a team fool you. You saw last night that I can play with anybody in this league and beat anybody here, excluding nobody, not even Reginald himself. I'm not worshiping anybody in this Madden. For what? Why would I? Nah. All I've ever said with Houston is that you will earn everything you get. He says he had the ball for 11 minutes. I said you needed every second to do what you had to do last night. Props to you. Yeah, you won. And granted, yeah, you're not going by 40 points. I never said you were. But I tell you this, I ain't one of them. You want an abundance of respect and reverence. Go holler at your division mates. They'll sing your praises till the cows come home. I ain't one of them. I'll give you your credit. You're great, but damn it, so am I. And we had a great game yesterday. And you can call it moral victories if you want. Nah, it ain't a moral victory. Because I said many times in that 16-minute, 59-second video, I said multiple times that the ultimate objective was not accomplished. Therefore, we got more work to do. And I don't play you twice in the season. My goal is to get a second game with you, which means I got to make this postseason and I got to go through some other pretty good teams to get to the great one. right? Cool. But you can talk about moral victories. Hype yourself up. I'm here for it. Because as long as you do this, I'm gonna do it right with you. I ain't backing down from you or nobody else in this league. Ain't my style. I'm not deflecting from anything. It ain't my style. But what I can say is this: I ain't win the game, but Myles Garrett, 2 sacks. That was the quietest 2-sack game I ever seen from 95. You know? Now I'll give you shorts. I'll give you shorts. That was a nice play he had on Marcus Peters over there, right? And Marcus, and for I saw a little bit of the discussion this morning. Marcus is supposed to make that play. He's supposed to keep that in check, right? But again, we going to adjust. And adjustment is all it is. Because if I came on the zone, I respect you enough to where if I came on the zone, that game, no. Why would I do that a third time? I got burned and beaten bad by it twice. Do I need to keep getting beat over the head to learn my lesson? Maybe, but in that, no. But I'm going to tell you this. Everything I did on offense yesterday was easy. And I know I ain't won. And that is going to be atoned for down the line. But I found out last night what I found out versus David years ago. And then the win that I got came after this fact. It might be your world. You're still mortal. You're still mortal. And if you're mortal, that means I can beat you. And I will, soon enough. You're the elite, and I'm the original elite. So it was good to tap back in that one time, see what I could do against the best guy in the league. Found myself now. We're no longer the Texans on the up and up. No, we're here. We're here. And now that we are, let the games begin, sir. I know you'll be ready. And now, whether you say it or not, is irrelevant to me. I don't need validation from anybody in this league. But you know, in your heart of hearts, I'm ready to. So I'll see you down the line. We'll give them another great game, another classic. But trust you me, you want somebody to jostle with in the AFC, they can't do it. They respect you too much. Me, I respect you. But you're just like all of them. Moral. Anybody can get got on any given day, even you. And I'm gonna make sure it happens. Questions, comments, concerns, anyone? I really touched on most of what I needed to touch on today. So let's see. I thought he picked up a third and had no time for the. Nah, man. You know it. All right. So let me tell y'all exactly what it was. Y'all may know or may not. I haven't posted anything about it because my proper headshots haven't come in yet. But I switched jobs in the middle of the season, hence why I only play games typically in the morning now. Reggie's schedule was kind of tight, so we were able to make it work yesterday. But generally, NFL schedule and ESPN schedule is a little different. I was NFL when the cycle started. We're ESPN now, so a little different. A lot of nights, like talking on the. If you put in East Coast time, I'm a lot of 4 p.m. to 1 a.m.s. So there it is, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m.s out here. And before long, it'll be, probably some 3 to 12s in here on the West Coast. Got a couple 12 to 9s, but the short and long of it is, onboarding while building a team. It was a little task, but the 0-5 start going back to the original second season. I wasn't nearly as worried about it as y'all were. Like, the way I saw it, that was my division because I had played one division game by the time the league, EA did whatever. And that one division game, And then I gave a force to Dez because I wasn't about to. I was trying to shoot back for the national championship and playing, but I wasn't dealing with that traffic. So, you just gotta decide sometimes sacrifices. But either which way, I had no doubt the division was mine. Like I remember the presser I did where I say that I was going to win. I gave out a choice, and it was going to be like 7, 8. Oh no, I think it's like 8 or under, 9, like I did the first season, or 10 or more. Well, I felt like it was going to give me 11. The way that I was playing and getting to, and the way that everybody else was playing in the back half of my schedule, I wasn't even worried about it. But yeah, that's what it is. But we're here now. We're back. I'm a little more adjusted to things. I apologies for not being as consistent with this as I could be and should be. But now, there are objectives on in the league and out the league. The objective in the league remains the same. The objective out the league is, well, we're in the building that we work to be at ever since the write-ups from the basement in Upper Marlboro, Maryland started. So what now? Like, like where do we go? Like being in the building is cool, but we got more things to attain, and more uh heights to reach. So I mean, hey, we got the greatest league in the history of leagues, in my opinion, going. Where banter is at an all-time high, and it's coming back in style now. And if I'm the one to do it, then so be it. Like at the end of the day, ain't no pressure in this Madden. Like we gonna line up 11 on 11, and whatever happens is gonna happen. But all I know is you gonna get the best of me, and it's no excuses coming my way, regardless of who I play. Regardless of who I play, I'm playing free, living freer. So being with that being said, though, we're getting into commentary tonight because none of this progression, none of this from Maryland to Wisconsin, and Wisconsin back to Maryland, and Maryland back to, or Maryland out here to the West Coast for the NFL, and now from the NFL to ESPN. This don't happen without y'all. So another shout out to y'all, because it's not again, it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. And had these write-ups not started way back almost a decade ago, me being in the sports world, ESPN is merely probably just like a, yeah, sounds good, but how are we going to get there? So more or less a wish. But here we are, and now we've gotten this far, and let's take it a step further. Let's find a way to get on TV, right? Y'all remember cycle 1 when I was commentating those college basketball games and broadcasting it in here? Like, y'all remember that? I'm sure we had, like I said before at the outset of this, we had our prime time games in here, and we'd choose every so often, and that was a great time. Podcasts are the all-time high. I don't take full credit for it because there's been other podcasts that have been great. Twan, Mixtape, myself, hell, Terms Corner. Like it takes a village, right? And none of any of these interactions or things that happen are whether it's my various like life happenings or anybody else's, like it's not individual things at this point. It's a family for more or less, for better or worse. And in this family, where it's 32, basically we call it what it is. It's 32 alpha males of some sort in this league. The conflict is going to happen, so why run from it? And that's why I'm not running from Reginald. That's why I'm not running from nobody. Like it just is what it is. I'm Houston. I'm ready. Let's get it. But at the same time, let's have fun with it. We're going to commentate tonight. Don't ask me how, because I don't know how any of this over the last, I know how it started, but when you piece the last like 9 years, 8.5, 9 years together, I don't know really, like, kind of can't script this stuff. I don't know how we're getting on TV, but we're going to get on TV. But until then, we're going to hone our skills, we're going to sharpen our skills, and we're going to have fun in doing so. So the commentary is next, man. Tonight, we got Seattle, not Tennessee. Seattle, New Orleans, live. That's a good game. 2 NFC contenders, the way I see it. And it should be good, man. Two competitive guys in Chris and C's. And we'll be here. We'll be here to to set the table. I might come on, give you a pregame show about 30 minutes before kickoff. We'll see. How long has this been on? I don't even know. Anyway, what more y'all want to know? I'll run through all my stuff. So, what y'all want to talk about? If y'all want to come on, cool. If not, I could see y'all in some hours. But yeah, man, like, ain't nothing for me. Nothing more. And if there is something that I gotta say, I'm gonna say it. Like, but yeah, I'm just looking at the let's see. Oh, that's what we're gonna do. Let's go to the comments. Okay, we're gonna start from the bottom up. Can't run over Storm Brave when your opponent never has the ball on offense. I mean, fair, like, but Nico, that's the in vogue thing now. Like, look at the power rankings. The daily power, okay, we can do that. But Nico, that's the thing though. Like, you see, people see like when something's quote unquote hot or in style, they see and they think, oh, yeah, I can do it too. Like, this is the pathway to success. And I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, is it really worth it if you gotta be a copy? That's just me though. I mean, that's just the original in me. But I understand it. Okay. Let's look at these power rankings, and then I'll get back to the comments from the bottom up. See if they're accurate. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if they're accurate, Chris. All right. Let's start from the bottom up. All right, San Fran. Probably. Hold on, my bad. Let me just. Well, here we go. Get a little closer. Okay, let's see. San Fran, Detroit is out for that's that's not David's fault. Jacksonville, Tone, Greg. Greg been trying to do some things this season. Jose, Flash, Mark, Nick, Nico, Manny, Bean. Let's just get to the top half. Okay. What do we see here? Hold on. Let me just look at it. Can I move this bar? Like, get this. Oh yeah, here we go. Hide the panel. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this. Top half. Here we are. Okay. What do y'all see? So from the top down, got the two undefeateds. Fair enough. Philadelphia, I would say the top three is, roughly right. You can flip flop 1 and 2 if you want. But Mikey's a champion, so he should be number 1. Cowboys 4, Cincy 5. That's the first flaw right there. Like, you look a little deeper. Is that really what, I don't know. Jury's still out in my opinion. Chiefs will. We gotta see how he handles a little adversity now, because it's here. It's here, live and living color. New Orleans, Green Bay, Houston, Washington, Seattle, Chicago, LA Chargers, Colts, Dolphins, Steelers. All right, so what's wrong with it? What do y'all think is wrong with it? I can't really say how the Chiefs that high, because he started I think because he started 5-0, and now like with this 3-game slide, I don't know how though. I mean, I don't know really. That's actually a good question. Let me see, Chris. Let me see about you real quick. No, I'll come back to these. Let me see, because 5. I think 3-game skid and being at number 5 is a little tough, especially with that 49-7. That's the one right there where it's like, how are we that high? Okay, beat Vikings, tied, beat you. Greg with the upset. Then he beat Greg. Greg been a little feisty. That's that division rivalry for you. Beat Dez, beat Swan, Snipe versus C's. Okay, then you got Phil, Mikey. Hey Zeus, what's going on here? Hold on there. Like 62 points. I saw it versus Green Bay. We got to tighten up, Carolina. What's going on? Then got me. It's a good little. Then myself. It's a good little stretch. Like this. I like this right here. There's going to be 5 great games. This one pending. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These should all be good games right here. And if Jesus come correct, that should be a good game too. So that's a good little late game slate. Then Nick, who could be either way, Jesus, who could be either way, and then maybe we get the Malik Willis Bowl at the end. Who knows? But okay. I would say I'm gonna go to Seattle in a second. Um, is this body of work better than the Chiefs' body of work? Will had the sim win versus myself. He beat those teams we saw and those players we saw earlier. Chris, your loss is being the one upset to Greg, but David just beat Will, so it's like 1-6 versus the 1-win team. Will got smacked by Manny. I would say, as a whole, probably New Orleans should be a little higher than KC at this point in time. Check Mikey's. Oh yeah, we can check his schedule real quick. I'll go to Seattle, then let me stay in the South, and then I'll go to Seattle. Mikey. Let's see. World champion, Mikey. Let me get that right. Props to you, sir. See, here's the thing. Also, while we talk about Tampa, like we can keep it real with everybody in this league. I know for some, or for some players, it's like you're gonna get more of a backlash when it comes to it. But what I said, Mikey, he was moaning and complaining and whining, and he wins the championship. And it's like I'm not one to take credit from anybody if they do what they're supposed to do. So let's look at it. Look at this. Can y'all get this man some competition, please? Anyway, but let's see. Okay, smack Phil, and Phil's another one. Like Phil is like Kenny Senior, or like Kenny 1.8. Like, I don't want to say 2.0 because they're close enough to be one and the same, but like stop the run and great things that happen. Anyway, so you got that. Was this a sim? I don't know. Anyway, then he blast chicks, blast Des. I don't know. Maybe I don't know who was the Lions at that point. 40-0 Tennessee. But let's see what's ahead. He's on his bye, or he wasn't his bye. Came out, smacked Jesus. Okay. Now you got Greg, got myself. Now, if the days line up, I can tell y'all this because we've been trying to coordinate this. Me and Mikey. If the days that Cardinals game was not a sim. Okay, cool. Good for the notes. So yeah, I mean that's a trap game. Found out with Washington what Arizona can do in the situation if you take them a little lightly. But looking at this, we were going to try to schedule this to where like we do like a podcast as such while the game is going on. If there's any reason why it can't happen, it would probably be because of my schedule. But I'll try to make it happen. We'll see. Hopefully it falls on the right days, and if it does, then if it's on a Wednesday or Thursday, as of now, then we can do it. But okay, Greg, he should beat Greg. Texans gonna be a good one. Again, is another great test versus an undefeated. So, we've established something, and we just got to keep it going in a couple weeks. Then we have the Saints. Okay, this will be good, right? I think this will be a sneaky good game right here. This is gonna be a good one. This right here, the rematch, NFC Championship, that got to be in prime time. I mean, there it is. If the days fall, if it falls on the right day, we'll be live from Philly. Then he got Ty. Chris again, Jesus, and then Mays. Okay, so and then Greg. So boom, bookends with Greg for now, but that in between, myself, Chris, B, Jeremy, Ty, Chris, Jesus, and me. That's a good schedule. That's a fun schedule right there. Like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like Tampa should get doesn't look like they've been tested much at all besides week 2. So far they should be they should get their fair share of good games on the back half. All right, Seattle, where are you? Let's look at these Seahawks. See what C's is doing. All right. Let's see what we have soon. I do know this. We got to get a season Kern game in prime time because that banter is just too great. It's just too great. Let me go up a little bit. Okay, so he had the good win right here. That's a great win to start. Um, kind of fell back down a little bit with this one. Then this one. I mean, but this right here, this 2-game set. I mean, you can't really ask for much tougher of a way to start a season. This was he should have won this game in my opinion. Beats Flash, okay. Still don't know what's going on in Baltimore, but he had a late season run in season 1, so can't count those guys out. Maybe just a slow starter. The game versus I didn't see this game versus B, but that's a good win. This game right here opened my eyes a little bit too. It's like okay, like what's going on again? What's going on in Indianapolis? Like again, like when you just kind of get out of the people that are lined up, like okay, that's Jalen Ramsey, that's Stephon Gilmore, and that's Shaquille Leonard. Like football at the end of the day, everything can be countered. So this is a great example of that. And now we have tonight's game, which we'll be live for, and then I can't. I want to say it should be a seized win, but you never know. Edgar's tricky versus certain opponents, so maybe he hangs, maybe not. We'll see. This should be interesting. This is interesting. Got Ed again. Then you got. I mean, this is a lot of divisional football right here. 1, 2, 5 out of his next 6 after tonight are divisional. 6 out of the next 7 because there's the Rams again. These two right here, I want to see this, and I want to see this. Like, and I'm glad we're getting it in such close proximity too, because that's going to be really, it's going to be really good. Like the banter and C's, I really don't. C's is ultra competitive, so that's great. I'm sure some trash talk will ensue, no matter which way it goes. So, we'll be sure to get you at least one of those in the primetime spotlight. Then you got Tony, you got Twan, another good game. Then you got Kenny. So you got 1, 2. I mean, games that outside taking the 49ers games away, all these games should be pretty good. I mean, he's 4-2 now. So, I mean, yeah. I could see him sweeping his division. I could see him losing half of the games, if not more. It could be splits all the way around. I'm looking forward to this also. Tone, get it together, man. What are we doing? And this would be good too. But C's got an opportunity in front of him. He's leading the division, so only team over 500 right now. So I mean, he could really break away over these next few weeks if he does it right. Guess we'll see. So that's that, and then I'll keep it on standings as I go through these comments real quick. Just look at all this right now. Conference, AFC. Here's what it is. 1 seed, 5 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 6 seed, 7 seed, 4 seed. Wow, or which I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, okay, interesting. NFC, 1 seed, 2 seed, 5 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed, 6 seed. Wait, it's no team from the West. You get the idea. 7 seed, yeah. 7 seed, whatever. Basically, there's a lot to be had over these next. Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of in play here. Like 8 teams above 500 in the NFC. Got a log jam, but there's only 6 above 500 in the AFC, but there's a lot of 4-4s. So I mean, everybody's kind of within range outside of like these guys. Um, but even then, Mark's only 2 games out of the division. Jose's only 3 back. He can make that up. So it's all in front. It's all in front of everybody is the moral of the story. So now let's get into the comments real quick, then we get on out of here. All right. Can't run over Storm Brave when your opponent never has the ball on offense. Right here. So what we say, Nako ball control? Let me know. I love when Redo is winning and active, but I thought he picked up a 3rd job and had no time for the league before the EA. Nah, I never had time. Again, like, y'all just don't see the end from the beginning. The record is what the record was, and it was fine. But I mean, basically, our front loaded all my losses. That's all that was. Yeah, wasn't no running or deflecting from any of it. Y'all were the ones saying Evan had the division in week 6 and I hadn't even played him yet. So I was going to beat him out. And at that point, I was just quiet. I still got screenshots on my phone. I was just screenshotting. I was going to get back to y'all later and ask y'all, okay, so now what? Play a little of the hindsight genius part that some of us like to play. Redo was dead in the water. He needed to look for free agency in the 2024 draft to save him for the following season. No, I mean, again, the division alone, man, if you look at it from the perspective of the conference at large, then yeah, it may be because, I mean, chances are if I didn't win the division, my playoff chances, might have, it would have been the possibility would have been lower, but I put it like that. But even with the division, like, nobody wanted it. And the way I see it, I lost 5 straight games and nobody could pull away. I'm giving you a head start. Did it with the personnel first and then did it with the record second. But I was fine. Like the Bengals came to town and I shut down that offense with no Jalen Ramsey, and it told me all I needed to know. I was okay, cool. If I do it versus a guy that has all these good players, but all I gotta do is be in the right spots, then it is what it is. So I was gonna take my chances. I know it's probably easier said when the results we'll never know, like technically and truthfully, but trust me, I was fine. Wait. I'm late, but there's no way Redo was going to finish the other league with a winning record. He had no QB and made bad trades. The restart really gave him life. I mean, the restart did give me life, but I'm not the only one in that camp. I will say this: everything I learned, and again, it's all about adjustments and learning. Like it's no different than Reggie saying like, "Oh, we played all this man versus me." I wonder why. Like, why would I not? Like, I learned from playing zone and getting fried on defense. You think I'm not going to come back and adjust? Like, I mean, mountains out of molehills just never made sense to me. But let me see if I got the record. I mean, if I got the screenshot, meaning I'm pretty sure. I think I might. I hope I do. But when you really see who was in front of me, y'all were far more worried about it than I ever was. Let's see. Maybe I have it. Maybe I don't. Geez, that's a minute ago now. But here it is. Boom. Shout out to Nico. Because he posted this, and I was able to screenshot it. At a point in time, he posted it in chat. So I saved it, and here it was. Now this is dating back to when I was 0-5, right? So this is before I beat Bean, had to force loss to Dez and beat the Bengals, right? So let's see if I can see that. Let's see. Can you get into focus? Okay. So that's about as clear. All right. So you see 0-5. Okay, boom. Here it is. So look at that. Bengals, I beat the brakes off of Cincy. Me and C's didn't get to play on Christmas, but I would like my chances. Mikey would have been a tough one. Still is going to be a tough one this season. But then I had Bean. I'm liking my chances there because he was tanking. Greg, I was going to beat Greg anyway, and I did this season too. So trying to just get this in focus for y'all. 1, 2. Let's call it 2-6, right? At this point where I'm playing the Seahawks. So I'll give it to you like this. Let's say I lose to Seattle and lose to Tampa. 2-8. I'm beating Tennessee, that's 3. Beating Atlanta, that's 4. Bye week, boom, come off that. Beat B, that's 5. Because he don't have his quarterback that he had now. And even if he did, I'm like my chances with the interceptions. Evans never beat me in Madden, that's 2 more wins. Dez has neither. Boom. We are 8-8 going into week 18 versus Carolina. And the way Jesus been playing, and if I'm coming off a 6-game winning streak, high morale, I like my chances there too. So, I mean, again, and by that point, Evan was like a game ahead of me, and I was going to sweep him. So I was going to make the playoffs at worst 9-8. And if I beat C's, that's 10-7. And if beat Mike, it's 11-6. So again, like proof's in the pudding, but from week 11 on, would run the table with Davis Mills. Like I was having enough in bad trades. I mean, I don't ever think trading for a Jalen Ramsey, particularly when you had like no impact guys really on defense. I don't think it was a bad trade. The Tunsil trade was a bad trade because I saw, even though Donovan Smith wasn't awful, I saw I saw how important. I see the difference with Tunsil now compared to not having him, and it's a big difference. So, but hey, I didn't make the restart. I just happened to go along with it like everybody else. So if I happen to play better or have different forces or learn from my mistakes, then hey, use me as a model and implement it on your own team. Let's see. Brandon figured out his interception problem. Says it'll be rectified. 35 interceptions to 7 touchdowns. What's going on with that? Yeah, Ed will commentate tonight. Need more missed kicks. Exactly. 56, but could be good from 65. No one kicks field goals anyway. Yeah, I mean, I say this like last night, and kind of just going off of Twan being stuck at the 1-yard line against Jeremy. Maybe I should have kicked the field goal after 2 unsuccessful attempts from the 1 to punch in the end zone, but I didn't in that type of game. Who knows? But yeah, in retrospect, we don't live in retrospect, but I probably would have taken the points. Then I don't have to go down and go for for a touchdown to win the game. I could just potentially kick it, but maybe the game doesn't even play the same after that. Let's see. Bucks game's ridiculous. Chris will give Bean a second for the beginning of the season. He's worth only a third now from Malik Willis, that is. Mac Jones better than Derek Carr. Bean made some changes in the bye week. All right, we will see. We will see. Let's see. Better tell you to stop playing with me. What's that? Kick Jeremy off the air. Let's see. Mark said I said Reggie's food in the playoffs. No. Not even worry about the playoffs. We worry about week 9 or whatever the next week is, first and foremost. If and when we see him again, that's when we see him again. Simple as that. I ain't wasting no extra energy on no team. Let's see. Mahomes take a flat tire. Yada. Okay. After the who gonna beat screenshot. After the who gonna beat screenshot got posted. Oh, gotta be Will and Nako after. Yes, yes. We'll try to get Will and Nako in prime. I mean, yeah, it'd be good, man. Get some exposure to some of the guys who typically don't like always get it. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe it could be the Dailies game of the week to make it easier and everyone know. It could be, but I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. It just depends. Like if Dailies happens to work with the if the day of the Dailies game of the week happens to match up with the days I'm around. I mean, and they don't even gotta be just me that's around. If anybody wants to join on a commentary, we can do that. Like just let me know. I'm in Zoom. I mean, I'm on Zoom, so it's nothing to just hand the reign the reins over to somebody if I'm not able to make it. Like just because I'm not here don't mean that the podcast world's gotta go to nothing. Have a game of the week and have Redo and someone else come say, yeah, for sure. Like let's do it. Anybody. Um Redo wearing a Dwayne Wayne different world shirt. I never even knew what Dwayne Wayne looked like until today, until this picture. Always missing some flip up glasses. I had some too. Um, yeah, all the bar at the barbershop and they just loaded up Madden. They don't know. Oh man. Going back, um, I've been seeing a lot of people play with this safety lately, influence. Yeah, I seen it too, Kenny. I seen, I don't know the wins of like, but I know the influence is a subject. Like I know again though, like that's like I see Overstorm Brave running rampant. Like everybody, I mean, some guys were about their life before it was hot, but per usual, that's only a couple, if that, maybe a handful. But yeah, I see a couple guys on the safety now. Yeah, I see that. It's a little trend. Um, let's see. I remember 20, 30-year-olds. Oh, enjoy your lives now. Um, I don't like milk either, so it's just cereal talk. Let's see. Let's keep going back. Let's go back to this morning. Um, Daddy Leagues updates. He really liked that man. Talking about that. It's talking about Trent Williams. Um, this yo. So can somebody tell me what was the talk with Kern being in the corner last night? Like I need clarification if anybody's still here. Um, yeah, somebody just run that by me because I missed it. I was only on PSN for a quick second. But the league is being advanced today no matter what. Just FYI, time still being determined. Cool. Um, yeah, that's great, man. Why all I gotta Reg asked, what are you talking about? Why I gotta be all this scared bully talk when it comes to me? Fuck it, I'm gonna embrace it. I mean, the simple thing is like this is what it is. I can answer this pretty quickly and I think pretty elaborately and hit the nail on it. Um, People respect your pedigree highly. Like they played in the nope, not on Zoom. Hey, Kerm, you see, yeah, same for that passport talk. Whole nother story. Anyway, whereas the reason why is because like you had the pedigree, right? You went to the University of Miami. Were in the NFL also. So it's like when you speak compared to us non-NFL guys, right? Like your weight automatically holds. Oh, here come Kerm. Your words hold a higher level of weight automatically. So therefore, when like when you know the coverages, you know the all the ins and outs. You speak on it. You like, play single high. I'm gonna test you up top. You do this, that, and the third. You quick to identify everybody's game plan, and it's cool. But a lot of people don't counter it, and a lot of people like they'll just like praise is one thing, but to overly praise and to just like damn near kiss your feet and kiss your boots is another. And so it's like also when you got the rules in it and all that, like the whole Super Bowl. This is just an example with the, I'm a player. It's the bowl. Like if a regular dude does that, Reg, you gotta understand. If you're not regular compared to the rest of us. Like you really are football. A lot of us are just like Madden is the first extent of football, or like youth football, high school football, whatever. But Madden is like we don't have the pro and the D1 college um part to our repertoire like that. So well, you probably been in far more intense trash talks and all that. So you got that energy, you got that game day energy. And it's only a few in here that can match it, and most will under that pressure. So when you speak on it, it's like, yeah, like if people are like, oh shoot, like Red, you know what I'm saying, Red's know this and that and the third, and you're usually not wrong. So people gonna come at it and be like, oh, he got it, or like give you this ultimate respect. Like, I don't even, it's like if Krillin saw, and Kerm, you get this, if Krillin were face to face with Beerus, like we just automatically caving in, like, nah. And that's the essence of all this, like win, lose, or draw. I can't be one of those guys. And if you win, you win, and you had a good win, but it's just like I'm gonna be right there with you, man. Punch for punch, blow for blow, talk for talk. Like I ain't one of them, man. Like the respect is due and it's given, but it's not no. It's still gotta be earned too, in a sense. So that's it. That's all. Like everything we say in between the lines, it's just talking. And I don't really see it's nothing different. But we can definitely be competitive. Like we can definitely talk that talk, and some people run from it, and some people don't. And I think that's just kind of what it is. So it looks like bullying when the other people don't want to talk about it. But trust you me, I ain't got nothing against it. Kerm, what's up with it?
Shit, man, I'm just getting home from work. But nah, that Kerm in the corner, that's only PSN, bro. This can't be over. No, sir. No. Yeah, I ain't trying to get your channel canceled, dog. Yeah,
so basically, we can try to get folks caught up on PSN. We can't do it on the live and direct.
No, not live direct. It's wild stuff. Last night was a wild. It got really wild after you left. So.
I came back. I came on here and I was like, I saw Greg's message on. I logged on PS4 and I saw Greg's message. And I was like, I went back in the chat. I'm like, what's going on here? So yeah, I missed out. But I'm feeling PSN tonight though. Trust you me.
Yeah, PSN is that's no man.
Hey,
Carmen the Kerm.
For those who don't know, man, like PSN is like the after hours. Like it's the things that you don't, this is like the league and stuff like that. There's a sector though, and that PSN, if you can get in, because you get on the right day, and I think it's usually like every day, right, or close to it.
It's like every other day, most people in, but last night it just seemed like everybody was in there. It just a lot of shit got instigated, and Mark brought it up. So
Mark trying to say some stuff up, man.
Mark like, I'll never forget this. Kerm is this. And he did this, and Greg was like, wait, what? So it just led into a whole, I want to say 15 to 20 minute conversation about me being in the corner about something, doing something. So yeah, it's not that. I'm like, no, I cannot have this put out on the YouTube and get you canceled. So yeah, we can't explain that.
But you know what I'm gonna do also? I think like I'm trying to do like a series of these shows. I'm thinking I never gave like a frequency, but we're trying to do at least once a week. So once a calendar week. But I'm sure that there'll be a section of shows in which like we gotta go to the unlisted, right? And we just had a link so we can talk about whatever. But PSN type.
I didn't see if you talked about the whole NFC West or anything because I just saw you still talking. But
well, since you're here, I was going to ask how you feeling about what was going on. C's 4-2. He played tonight. You 3-5. Your quarterback is nice. What was going on in LA?
What's going on is like I'm playing like shit. That's what's going on. Like the last two games were very winnable. I made some mistakes. Mm-hmm. The Jesus game, that literally came down to like the last few possessions of the game. I broke on a run. They called me holding. They put me back on the 2-yard line. So I tried to do a quick pass. He jumped the slant. He made me hold the ball a little bit longer. Try to hit it to another person. He got a safety. That's how he took the lead like that. So I turn around after that. I stop him on the like he scores again on the safety. Like scores after the safety. So he jumps up to like 30. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, fuck, what I'm gonna do? Go downfield, score real quick. I try to go for 2, stupid, whatever. I'm down by 3. It didn't really take me out. It was like whatever.
Right.
But I had one more time to stop him. But my problem was he made that one catch, made an unbelievable catch because I went for the pick and stand swatting the ball. If I swat it, I get the ball back with some time left. I can either try to do something with the ball and score because he wasn't stopping me on the ground. Kenny, he actually start using Micah Parsons the correct way now. That's why his record is showing what his record is.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Straight.
Yeah, you stopping his run like crazy. 24 carries for 57. That's a job right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it literally came down to a few possessions, but at the same time, like I told Kenny, like, yeah, Madden is going to be Madden, but I felt like he legit got lucky off some shit because the animation triggered before my animation trigger. And I told him, like, some of the throws, some of the picks you got legit happened because my receivers just looked at the ball. I'm running the street. You play man, you blitz me. I'm thinking, man, oh man, you got a short corner or to like Diggs on Juju. Juju is bigger than Diggs. So I'm thinking Juju's going to jump in the ball, but Juju wasn't jumping. Diggs was just getting it. I'm like, okay, cool. Did it with Cup. Cup didn't react. He just looked at the ball. Pick. So that's how I got those 4 picks. I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But in the fourth quarter, what I fucked up at is it was down 28-21. I was like on the 15. It was in the fourth. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes left in the quarter. I said, fuck it, I'm going for it. Parsons got free, and I tried to scramble. He just tripped my leg up, and I fell in the backfield. And that's how he got the 31. It's literally like, it's cool. Shit happens, but at the same time, it's like, I know those 2 games could have went either way. But now it's like, hopefully I can schedule JT, play JT, try to get him back into the field of the game. Bengals, I feel like I just got to stop Jamar Chase because that's all he goes to most of the time when I watch him play. So I'm going to try to stop Jamar Chase with the lack of corners I got because that's the biggest difference with my team. That's why I'm like damn near dead last in passing defense because I got no corners. Safety's okay, but corner play, I got young corners. So it's like I'm expecting to get beat. So I have to hope the pass rush get there, play JT again. So the last 12 and 13 is literally circled because, you know.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Let me ask you. So, because I know we got our game week 18, but before that, like, tell me why 12 and 13 is circle. Like, is there anything on like why?
No, me and Twan always gonna have a grudge with each other all the time. It doesn't matter. Like, I love Twan like a brother, but at the same time, I can't stand that nigga in Madden. That nigga think he's God's gift to Madden, but that nigga's not God's gift to Madden. Showtime, he's lucky this restart happened because guess what? If the restart didn't happen, I was gonna be on that nigga head all day, every day. I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't care what he says. I was gonna be on this fucking head top. C's thinks I just stay in I formation all fucking day and run the ball. Guess what? If you can't stop me out of I formation, why fucking switch it up? Because guess what? Last time we played, you sure couldn't stop me in I formation. So, and that's why I had Swift and Akers. So now I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And I got a more quarterback, mobile quarterback. I don't like to run with him like that, but I can run with him like that.
Right. See,
but guess what? It's gonna be the Akers and Sanders show against C's.
This triple S, a slow stroke special.
Yes. Super. People thought Redo was bad last night, milking the clock to 2 seconds.
Hold on, time out. They really thought that?
Bruh, you slow. You like everything, literally like most of your possessions, you snap the ball at least to like the max 4 to 5 seconds on the clock. Because that's you. You always play like that, though.
Yeah.
You never snap the play clock. You never snap the ball over 10 seconds. It's always 10 seconds or under with you. So that's why like our game is gonna be hilarious because if you want to go slow, I can go slow. It's gonna be the most slowest, boring ass, longest game ever.
Hey,
unless turnovers happen.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, you ain't gonna be able to do it. You're not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna speed you up. I guarantee you. I guarantee. Hold on.
You're gonna try to speed me up.
I'm gonna speed you up. But while we're here though, that's another topic that I meant to touch on as far as like the copycat league. And one thing I could say that Reggie was talking about, this is like days, maybe a couple weeks ago now, like the prevalence of the no huddle. Like now after everybody get a big play, they run it right back to no huddle. I could say from what I have seen this cycle, Reggie was a predominant guy who did that. And now I'm seeing it league wide. I'm like, oh, somebody think they really think they that. I'm like, this is cool. This is crazy because it's like, because now I look at it and it's just like, that's another thing I'll never do. Nope. And I never have anyway, because it just like, not with the way Reggie says. So I'm not like saying, or anybody else who does it here, but I'm just like, when I think no huddle, I just think about the lame people online who do it all the time and head to head. So even back then, I was like, I'll never do it. But now it's just crazy seeing like, you know, people follow that like success leaves clues mentality, and now they think like because they see this one guy do it, they can do it the same. And
it's not the same because I'm like this, Reggie. I'm like, I see Reggie does it. I'm like, okay, I see other people try to do it, but I'm like, y'all not him. Like he knows when he's no other, he's switching to another play quickly. Y'all don't. A lot of people don't know huddle. They know huddle and try to run the same play because they saw your defender do something. Don't mean, exactly. Like, you think I'm gonna run the same defense after you just no huddle me? You know, it's a rabbit ass mind. I'm gonna audible my damn self. But the difference is with me is like a lot of people look at me as like, oh, you just play on the D line. You fucking right, I'm playing the D line. Because guess what? Because I'm like this. I got a young dude. I got a young DN that needs work. I got Aaron Donald to get pressure. But guess what? I got young linebackers too out there. If I run around my linebackers all day, it's not fucking great for me. If my D line ain't getting no fucking pass rush against you. So what's the purpose? You see how many injuries? I just got my left tackle back.
Oh yeah, and I'm looking at this now. I see your left guard is hurt.
He's a star.
Yeah, he's hurt. This D tackle, who's also a star, looks like he's hurt also. I mean, dang.
And my left end's out.
Ogunjobi's out. Yeah, like dang, you got some injuries over here.
Injuries in key areas that affect me, and I'm like, that happened before. This happened against Edgar. So all the next games, I'm like, I'm just trying to get through and get these dudes back, but I'm not. So I'm like, fuck it. I just got to figure out how to get my pass rush back on defense and still try to hope my left guard comes back playing like he was. Because when he was playing, he was blocking. But now I'm like, okay, fuck, what I'm going to do? And like some of the games, I'm like, okay, I lost the Flash. Cool, chalk that up. Beat Jigs. Lost the B in a crazy game. And then like Reggie, I played Reggie tough, but the score don't show the fact how like he didn't really just pull off on me like that.
Right.
But I'm like, okay. Then Tone came in talking high shit. You saw what I did to Tone.
Oh yeah, Tone is just.
So I'm like, Edgar played his best game until he played Dez against me. So I'm like, okay. In the next two, I just lost. So that's what I'm like, okay. I got and like you notice I don't get a bye until like week 14, so I'm just straight playing games. So it's like I'm just hoping my team survive.
Damn, that's a late bye. Goodness gracious, that's a long time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm playing straight up games, and like I hope like that's what I'm saying. I hope I can play JT just to get a rhythm back for me. But thanks to Mark giving me enough, like putting some, just saying some shit in the PSN to like, all right, bet. It's like what Mark said was like, all right, JT gonna watch you both games. C's gonna watch me. Twan is a toss-up. C's gonna sweep me. Jeremy gonna destroy me. He said pretty much I'm winning just 2 games after this.
Dang. Well, so that's a perfect segue. So let me ask you this: you seen? I got your remaining schedule here. You're 3-5 now, but a lot of season left. I mean, what
Yep.
you can pull up?
Look, I feel like, man, I can play with anybody and everybody in this league. My point is, like, I just gotta just buckle down and play my game. Ignore all the bullshit. Fuck saying, oh, all I do is just play on the D line and all I do is run the ball. Guess what? In those games where I just kept on doing that, I won those games. The games I try to switch it up and mix it up, my ass lost. So fuck all this noise. I gotta block it out, and I just gotta play my games all the way until I get to the bye week and hope I have healthy players left. Yeah, I got certain receivers up to, like, I got Juju to a superstar, and I just trying to keep my quarterback to keep his superstar. A lot of people don't realize you gotta do stuff with your rookies to make sure they can stay as that superstar. You just can't sit here and be like, oh, he's a superstar, he's gonna be fine, he ain't gonna lose in the next year.
All right.
Bullshit. They can snatch that shit away from me. So I've got to use my rookie quarterback to a certain extent. So what I'm trying to do is literally just keep my rookie quarterback at a nice even pace. Try to cut down the interceptions and try to give him more touchdowns and more just good, decent amount of passing yards. At least try to get him in the top 10 so he can stay where he at. But if he drops to the start, I'm fine with that. I mean, it is what it is, but I still got to work on what I got to work on. But at the end of the day, my goal is to make the playoffs. But at the same time, I feel like I don't hope to have the same bullshit be 8-9 or 9-8. But if that's the case, it's the fucking case. It's Madden, and just hope shit be on my side. Let the dice roll. So it is what it is. But I like the stretch I have right now before I play Twan and C's pretty much. Because, okay, if I can get past JT twice and just win those 2 games and beat the Bengals, I feel very confident going into the game against Twan. I feel very confident into going against C's, beat Twan too. So if I come in with a high momentum, I'll be fine. Then after the bye, I go to C's spot. So it's gonna be I'm gonna be just literally just high up. You know what? It's cool. I got to get this, be focused and stay focused. Then next thing I'll pay that whole ass nigga in Philly, Jeremy. So it's sad, man. I just got to play my game. If I go on this nice little winning streak, I go on a nice little winning streak, I'll be fine. If I don't, it is what it is. I got to work on the draft and figure out, go to the drawing board and figure out what playbook. Well, the playbook works for me. I just got to perform it better. So that's what's going on. So I know what I have to do. So
would you say that Mark messaged me that says, I'll read it. Mark says, all your man is saying is a lot of words and no numbers when you ask him the question. Can he get at least over 500 to finish the season?
Didn't I just say 8-9 or 9-8? Didn't I just say that? That's how Mark try to get you. Mark be saying some bullshit. Didn't catch you up in some fucked up shit. Mark, fuck you.
Yeah, tell Mark to worry about 2 and 6.
You motherfucker over here playing with a left-handed fucking Mac Jones, you fucking idiot. How about you learn how to throw the ball in a timing manner? How about that? Stop trying to wait till the last minute to your receiver wide open and thinking 85 throw power gonna get you there. Yeah, that's how it works, sir. You got to learn how to throw anticipation too, sir. It matters in this game.
That boy, Canarsie Food on defense still hurt the whole Canarsie Food, actually. Yeah, big woo. Big trash.
Got that superstar receiver ain't using shit.
You can speak on whatever else you want to speak. I'm just looking at your quarterback real quick.
Bullard. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Got to get the young boy kind of moving, but I'm just saying, I'm playing all right, but at the same time, I'm not playing the greatest with the quarterback like I can do. So that's what I'm looking at. I got to cut down the interceptions. That's my biggest thing. Is I literally got to cut down the interception. That's my big issue.
Yeah. What else you seeing around the league? What's standing now? Who's I just want to hear from perspective. This is going from no Wellin to Kerm's corner for a bit. So.
What have I noticed? I noticed a lot of a lot of people try to copy certain shit, and try to copy certain players. Like I know there's a lot of heavy cover four being called lately.
Mm-hmm.
I blame Reggie for that because he plays cover four kind of different from everybody else. But everybody else try to see what he do and try to copy it, and it just don't work like that.
It don't work.
I see like people like Ty had people worried about at first, but I'm like Ty kind of like hit a lull right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's doing, but
you keep on doing it. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Like what fucked him up? You notice he started losing after he traded for Tua.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think.
Since he got Tua, he's been playing like shit.
Let's see, because
I'm just kind of like I said.
I don't even know who he had before. Because when I saw him when I played him the first time, that might have been his first game with Tua. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He haven't been right since he traded for Tua.
Yes, with him, it's like I don't know. I think when people get past the personnel of it all, it's just football at the end of the day. You make your and this is why like even yesterday, like because all the previous cycle, I'm like it didn't have to be Myles Garrett. It could have been DeMarcus Lawrence or somebody like that. But like boys getting 3-4 sacks on me. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like literally, the gameplay is what it is. Like whereas like you got some people trying to run no huddle, and then you have the guys who quote unquote are playing this slow and feel like you're trying to keep the ball from the offense and all that. No, like I mean I can only speak for myself, but it's literally just going through the motions. It's quality control. I'm making sure this guy don't do that and that guy don't do whatever he's supposed to do. Identify like and they give you 40 seconds for a reason. So who am I to use 18 of them? Like, no, like we got 40 seconds, I'm gonna do it. Either way, the play gotta be run, and I figure.
Yeah.
For the guy
but my biggest my biggest thing I also noticed, like people try to get like now people still obsessed with speed. Speed is cool, but it's not the end all be all in this game, like the other previous last match is like remember you have a 97 speed receiver, dude is gone most of the time if he on the street. But now like the way the game is, like sometimes these DBs are locking up with these dudes.
Yeah.
Because like to me, like if you got a speed receiver, don't mean his release is great.
Facts.
Because I'm like, if I like Mays, he got a good ass young receiver, but his release is ass. But if you try to jam him, that's what I'm saying. It's like a double-edged sword. You gotta know when to jam and not when to jam. And like if you don't have if your coach, your DB coach your defensive coach don't have that jamming shit up, you what's the purpose of jamming the receiver then if you can't get his press up?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I don't mind jamming because I got my press up. But at the same time, like certain receivers in this game can get off with a nice release. Because if you got a good release, I mean, and that speed, that matters. But sometimes it's like you don't need a fast receiver. You don't need I could try and play like this. You don't need a dude to be 97. He can be 92 or 93. Or like Cooper Kupp. You notice he always open. Don't mean his speed is super high. His release and the route running is immaculate. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I look at it like that. Like, yo, I can find, like, I just made Juju a superstar. Juju don't do all this and like super fast guy, but guess what? He runs his routes and he catch the ball.
Mm-hmm. That's the traffic more important than anything, I think. In my
That's
opinion.
what I'm saying. Like you got McCole, but guess what? You have a quarterback. They try to get it there, but half the time it's like if McCole, like I noticed this though. When McCole got jammed, you notice he wasn't getting free right away.
Yeah, but it's also like, see, the biggest difference is Davis Mills could have been fine, and this is the conflict I had when like how you got your quarterback. I was in a position where I could have got him and I was leaning towards it, but I'm like, all right, how do I, like you said before, it's like I can run with my guy. Obviously I didn't play in my favor yesterday, but he has enough to run. But after having the 86 or the 87 throw power, I need a guy with a cannon. Simple and plain. Like I don't necessarily need even with Cam back when I had him, like I never running was not my first preference most of the time. Most of the time I want to pass the ball, but if I need to get out there, I can get out there with the best
Yeah.
of them. But that was a real difference. And now like it's just opened up the offense so much to where we're not playing 30 yards and under or 25 yards and under anymore. Like, we got the whole field to work with, and we just barely missed on a couple of those throws.
Throws. Yeah.
I would like, as far as just the quality of the throws and the placement, and I had no complaints about the game at all. It's just I just can't allow no big touchdowns like the one to Shorts. But even though I don't think he scored, but that long bomb was one, and then but more importantly, the big run by Chubb. That's what
that
really,
was like a big backbreaker at first when I first saw it.
yeah, because it goes 21-9, and I'm not gonna hold you. I'll keep it a buck. At 21-9, I'm like, all right, this can go one of two ways, and I've seen the one way it can go. And I'm thinking about it, and for real, I think probably, let's say if the other 31 or other 30 people, not counting either of us, watched, I would say 25-28. Probably it was like, 21-9. That shit might be a blowout. Like, it's about to just like blow the doors off Houston now. But I'm like, no, like we just stay with it. That was the only thing. Just stay with it. Like I got the capability, so just do it.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I just saw like like I said, AFC in my head is kind of weak, to be honest with you. Because it's top heavy. It without like everybody the usuals. The usuals is like you, Reggie, Mark, Flash.
Yeah.
Now Jose's over there. But it's like I don't consider him the usual. The usual is like y'all the four names I said.
Mm-hmm. Yes. After that, it's just like anybody can beat anybody. Even probably with all of them. Everybody can be beat.
Des just text me, he said, tell Redo, fuck Madden. We know, Desmond, we know.
Man.
We already know, dog. If it's NCAA, it'd be a different story, but it's not. You got like another full year to wait.
Yeah,
then you hopefully can get back in your bag, sir.
Hey, well, while you're here, can you relay me a message? Tell Des stop running that Overstorm Brave. That ain't him. I'm playing Des the previous week. I'm like, dog, like, if I hadn't ended this game in the first quarter, this would be a little bit of an issue because this is all that
Overstorm.
Yes. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, but I'm surprised though compared to that because I went out of that game like, well, if we couldn't contain little old Overstorm Brave, how we gonna do Myles Garrett? But put the plan.
I mean, you really didn't contain Myles Garrett. You kind of
I feel like this. He got his, and he's and Myles Garrett is going to get his. But at the same time, though, like I said before, that was because I've also played Myles Garrett when he's had 3 or 4 sacks, but he had 2 yesterday, and it is what it is. But I would still say that was still like it felt quiet for him outside of those couple of plays. Like after that, like I didn't really encounter like the chaos that he usually brings. So it was if I get that anytime I play against Myles Garrett or play against Reggie, then I'm loving that
right.
The chances. Yeah, you coming on tonight for the commentary for the Seahawks and Saints?
Most likely will be around.
See what your boy C going to do.
Yeah, and plus I'll let you know update you on the corner thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll put on PSN. I guess, but before game time for sure. If I see y'all on, I'll jump on the PS4 and talk. But before you go and before I go too, who wins tonight, Chris or C's?
Obviously, I'm gonna say Chris because I need that nigga C's to fall back to earth. And I'm being a hater. So guess what? You and your little cupcakey ass offense, I hope you get fucking stumped, nigga.
And last question, your early candidate for week 9 game of the week. What should it be?
Who's playing all week now?
I'll tell you 1 second. So here's what we have. We got 49ers Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
We got Bears Packers. Suspended Joe Burrow Bengals versus Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos Chargers. Browns Steelers. Bucks Falcons. Cardinals Rams. My personal pick right here, Cowboys Commanders. Dolphins Jets. Eagles Giants. Patriots Bills. Raiders Chiefs, another one that's probably up there for me. Ravens Vikings, and then Texans Jaguars.
Okay, 1A is Twan versus Kenny.
Right.
1B is Ike versus Will.
Yeah.
Right. The only reason I say Ike and Will is up there because the talking is gonna be hilarious.
Exactly.
Because I think Will ignored. I think Ike, when Ike asked him something, and Will ignored that man and left that man on red or something. So I already know how this game gonna go. You know the best up part is Will talked too early, and now he's on his losing streak.
Right. And that's the difference. It's like certain players, like sometimes you get the guys who like a certain level of success is kind of like new to them. So they get too excited prematurely, and then this happens. Now it's like, oh. A side note, Nako's the favorite in that game right now.
Are you serious?
They got him as a 2-point favorite right now over Wellin. And that's what I love about Nako. See, and I feel victim to it, I'll admit. But Nako he's like the Jehovah Witness, right? He gonna knock on your door one time, you don't answer, cool. He'll be back. He gonna knock on that door again, and he gonna keep on knocking until he finally gets that answer from you. Then it's like job is done.
Yeah,
I love it.
I hate that shit because when we playing, like if like last time we played Mike W, he just kept on fucking talking and some all you do is do this. Bitch, I don't want to do that. It's just annoying. It just throws you out your fucking game when you talk to him. And I hate it. And he started trying to do that lawyer shit towards you. And I'm like, if you wasn't a fucking lawyer, dog, I swear to God, you'd be the devil himself.
Yeah, if you stay with the lawyer, yeah, he played that angle really well. But yeah, he had a 2-point favorite. I'm gonna have to hit him and Will up and see like if we can coordinate it. Hopefully they play. We advanced tonight, so I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
I don't know, man. It's anything's possible, dog. Because some people like to play. Because I noticed something. Like the first day after advance, or like the first 2 days, most of the games has already been played.
Yeah, boys be eager. They be eager to get back on the field. I'm eager to get back on the field after yesterday. That was so much fun, and I think that's the majority of it. Like that game yesterday was just fun. Like I don't even. We be in the battle. The heat of the battle is the best place to be. It's too much fun. We gonna get that again. Who else? Oh, Kenny and Twan. Then we gonna get up right here. Yep. And that game
it's gonna be the battle of the D lines. Who can get more pressure on who?
Mm-hmm. Kenny is 7-point favorite. So yeah. Oh, that's gonna be good.
I don't think Kenny can. Like the funny part is people don't realize how to like. It's easy to stop Kenny.
It is. It's simple.
Just outside, like this man loved bouncing the runs outside all day. Only reason he got 3 touchdowns because guess where his 3 touchdowns was at? In the red zone. He didn't break them. You can see how much
he got like picks and like field position to get there.
Nah, pretty much. But at the same time, it's like he was like I think Zeke was averaging 2 yards a carry against me. Think about it. 24 carries, 57 yards. That's not a good average.
No, you strapped. Like 24-57 is crazy. That's like some 1970. Like, you really like held him down.
That's what I'm saying. It's just literally was just all right. He's there in the red zone, and I like, okay, I'm expecting him to at least pass or something. Nah, he still ran the ball. I was like, oh, this nigga just okay.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a far cry compared to like what was it, 9 carries for 374 a few weeks
Yeah,
ago. Man,
that's
like
what I'm saying. Like I know how to play Kenny. Like that's why I think Kenny likes playing me because I actually like, all right, I give him a challenge. Like I make him work for everything he does. But the same thing is it's like if Twan see how Kenny runs, he should stop him. But he do have the D line to stop that run. He literally has the D line to stop it. Is the point is he going to call the right defensive game plan to stop it?
Yeah, that's the truth. Like Kenny, Zeke already got 1,175 yards halfway through the season. Like this man about to run for 2,500 if don't nobody start
stop him
intelligently. Yeah.
But the funny part is, like, all you have to do is just look at my game to show him how he gets stopped.
Sometimes it'd be that simple. It'd be that simple sometimes. Like
look at what's the carriage against me?
24 carries, 57 yards, and 3
What's
touchdowns.
the average?
Oh,
what's
the average? 2.4.
Exactly. Like I wasn't getting him get shit. I think his longest yard run against me was what, 10 yards?
8
the most. That's like, yo, he wasn't getting nowhere. It's like, okay, he got this. Pop his ass back in the backfield again. Just all I keep on doing is popping his ass. Like, right, I got a good rushing defense. My pass defense sucks because I got no secondary right now. I gave my best secondary player go away, but it's cool. Like I said, I can dress it in the offseason.
Yeah, you only
you know what I'm saying? Ball. You know what I'm saying? Like the person I wanted, you traded him to my rivals, cool. Did Jerry want to hold me on some trade? So it's like it's cool. All right, I see it.
Quarterback salvation is what had me on the other side. That's why I had to do it. and given where we are now, loving the results.
I'm like this. If I had if Stingley was there, Stingley and Gio would be superstars right now. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I miss my dog, man.
My bad, man. Apologies.
Yeah, but I get it though. It was a smart trade for you. I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, going to have him to now I gotta play against him. So it's like, okay, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be funny because I wonder if he's gonna try to cover him with Cup.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be interesting because he got some corners nice out Seattle. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm not gonna throw like that. I'm just gonna become the old me and just ground and pound you to death now.
Yeah, man. Sometimes the best you is you that you know best.
And the best thing right now is just to run the ball on everybody. Fuck what you heard.
However, at this point, it's however you can get these wins. It don't got to be ugly. It don't got to be by a million.
That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not going to be like just sugarcoat the shit no more. I'm pissed off. I'm 3-5. I didn't expect to be 3-5. I was hoping to be where I was before the restart.
Yes,
I was literally hoping to be like 5-3, like before the restart, before this shit shut down on me. But it's cool. It's all right.
Yeah, you got most of your schedule in front of you. So I mean, but a lot of players do though. So yeah, you definitely good. I think you got like just about all your division games except for maybe like one in front of you.
No, I literally I knock out 2 of my division games in the next 2 out of the 3 weeks. So it's literally right there. Then I got C's at the end, and I got C's after a bye, then Edgar, And like this might as well just make me say, hey, Edgar sweep.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good stretch, but I really don't got nothing more to talk about unless you do.
No, not right now. I got some other shit to say on PSN, but that's got to be exclusively PSN.
Yeah,
exclusively
PSN.
Yeah, because I'm like I can't get can't get caught up in this shit on YouTube. Like, oh no,
everybody. Nah, well. Guess we leave it here till about 5:30. Get back on here, kind of set the table for Seahawks and I do want to say Titans so bad for Seahawks and Saints.
Because you hate New Orleans. See, look at your face when you say Saints. It's like you want to throw up when you say it.
hate that team, but it's all good. Man. We'll be back in a few hours, man. Shout out to the league, to the podcast, man. More good games. I'll see you, sir, in week 18. Best of luck beforehand.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully we in playoff contentions, getting shit ready. Then guess what? You better bring it, nigga, because it's money on the line, sir. That's all I'm gonna say. It's
This guy, ladies and gentlemen. He really think? He really think?
Yeah, yes, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Money on the line, sir.
Fair
Ain't
enough,
no
man.
half stepping. I don't give a fuck what my record is then. If I just said all that out the window, that's all I'm gonna say. All of it out the window.
All I'm gonna say is, all right, cool. Be ready.
Young, hey, get ready. Hey, I'm like this. After we done, get ready to put that red filter back on, sir.
You know what? I don't know if you saw the intro. That's the Gemini complex. You got Redo, you got Otter, which is Redo backwards. Which one you gonna get on the podcast? You never know. I mean, long form storytelling at its finest, man. Like, what more can I say?
All right.
Look, it was red the first time. It was I brought the old purple camo today, ready for battle with whoever. Who knows? It might be blue velvet next.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I can't get it away. You might get me in a fur overcoat. You never know what you're gonna get.
God, you are Seth Rollins stylist for real. I'm out of here.
Hey, real quick, Chris asked, what customer's house are you streaming from?
What country? What?
He said, he's assuming you got that you're the customer. He said, which customer's house are you streaming from?
This is my fucking apartment, damn it. I just still at way still got my work uniform on. Don't do this to me, dog.
Oh man, it's gonna be good, man. Once a week, man. We gonna get in here. I got it's no reason 2 off days. We can do 1 couple hour episode a week at minimum. I'm not saying it won't be more, but at the minimum, we can do this once a week. Get some consistency back to it. Keep the good talk going. The good games, hopefully, even more. And it's a rebirth, so why not?
It's gonna be hilarious. That's all I'm gonna say. This is gonna be hilarious.
And the best thing about it is everybody on the record. I'm not deleting no nothing. Like everybody's on the record. Everybody that comes on here, I'm always gonna be on the record because I'm just the one doing the show. And I stand by everything I say. And if it's proven otherwise, then we'll come on and eat the crow. But until then, hey, it is what it is.
Yes, sir. All right, holla.
All right, no one, man. There it is, free lunch. And there you have it, man. What more can I say? It's just been great games all around with great competitors, and I just look for more of the same. So catch us tonight, 8:30 on the East Coast, 5:30 out here on the West Side. We get you ready for Saints Seahawks, a key NFC battle between 2 contending players, 2 former world champions, right? And this is what it's all about. Can C's come in here and keep it going against Chris, who's contending in, what might be, along with the NFC East, the best division trio, New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa Bay. Certainly season 1, that was the case. But now the guys in the NFC East, Dallas, Philadelphia, and Washington have something to say about it. So let's find out. We right back here 5:30, kickoff around 6. I'm gonna set the table. Come on, come all. We can talk about whatever up until we'll give it some good commentary, and then we'll go from there. Till then, H-Town out.